Hey, Thatch here, and welcome to the puclpodcast. This week, we've got an awesome conversation talking about the eras of Pokemon and what we believe they are. I'm sure plenty of people will disagree and would love to hear you guys fight about it. So yeah, please send those in to puclpodcast@gmail.com. And of course, if you wanted to help support the show, jump over to our Patreon or just like, comment, subscribe, whatever. I'm thinking about putting little YouTube comments of the week right up here up front. So yeah, leave us a comment down below and we'll probably read it on the show next week. So with that, guys, puckle up and get ready for another exciting week of the Puckle Podcast.
And now, coming to you live from atop the Lavender Town Radio Tower, it's the one, the only, Puckle Podcast.
It's Puckle! Puckle! It's Puckle! Puckle! Pokemon Underground Champions League, oh yeah! Puckle! Puckle.
Welcome to the Puckle Podcast. I am your host, Trainer Thatch, and today I'm joined by my wonderful co-host, Seth Vilo.
Hello.
And
I don't have anything clever.
Nobody has it. It's too early. Hello.
Yeah.
I do
Hello.
miss the hand gestures for Alola.
Yeah. Look, we have a video podcast now. I can do visual gags.
We can do the visual aids. Yeah, most people don't watch it, but it's okay. But yeah, I also am very upset, actually, about how they were just like, we're going to name the region Alola. And then the way you greet people is you say Alola. And I'm like, okay, we could have had the
Georgia.
greeting. Yeah, exactly. Ohio. Actually, that one is a thing.
That one.
Maybe. What do you call
Ohio
this
goes
region guy walking
Imas.
up and not hearing the question well? Alola!
Alola. But yeah, welcome to the Puckle Podcast. Puckle, of course, standing for the Pokemon Underground Champions League, a nonsensical name we came up with in 2007, where we talk everything Pokemon, from the trading card game to the video game to everything in between. We are the longest running Pokemon podcast, fortunately/unfortunately, and we're here to have a good time. But yeah, I mean, we were off last week. We put up that little Patreon teaser thing for people to go watch if you're interested in Game Corner. That's part of what we have. We're getting the kinks worked out. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and I want to know what you guys have been up to, because I can tell you what I've been up to, but it's very boring.
Well, I'll give it a whirl. I have been doing not a lot as far as like the Pokemon world, if I'm being honest. There's the normal TCG Pokemon card thing that I do weekly. We've been doing monthly theme nights, which has been really fun at our store, where we have something different that's kind of like, oh, this week everybody, or this night everybody bring in like no rule box Pokemon, so go off. Everyone has to bring only one type of Pokemon, like one elemental type, so that's all that's allowed in your deck, or things like that. This last one that we did was a blast, and it was raid boss battles, where a few of us had designed. I've actually got mine. Hang on. We've got custom raid boss Pokemon that we designed for a couple of us. Some people did, like one guy did a Shedinja and a Ninjask. It was really good. And another guy did something else. And one moment, audio listeners.
Seth has walked away. He can't. You can't do this, Seth. He can't do this. This is a.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can.
An
I'm
audio
back. It was
podcast.
like no
this is
time at
mostly
all.
an audio podcast.
I know. It's fine. My Pokemon was video, people. You get a special glimpse. It was Rotom in a warehouse.
Oh, that's beautiful. Actually, I'm happy.
And
with
it
that.
was one of the funnest games of cards I've ever done. We all came up with our raid boss decks. It was stupid. Like, this thing has super gadget show, and it just does attacks based on how many dip tools were on it. So I did like 280 to poor fools that were at the table. I got the table with the 6 youngest kids there. So I was six. Yeah, the 6 youngest kids there. So I was teaching them how to play the game. I was teaching them how to fight me. When they didn't know how the game worked, I would walk over to them and be like, you should play that one. That one's really good against me. You should knock me out. That'll probably do a really good job. just basically playing their hand for them. The parents were having a good time watching. I was having a good time. I was in my lab coat the whole time too with my
Perfect.
Rotom Aloha shirt. It was great. It was hilarious. I loved it. So that's kind of what I've been up to Pokemon wise, is just doing funny, silly stuff like that.
No, that's fun, actually. That's certainly more fun than me.
Yeah.
Mine is so boring. I'll let Lynian go.
I finally, now that it's on my phone and I don't need to worry about logging on my Switch every day, I finally downloaded Champions for once.
Nice.
I have been enjoying singles a little bit, doubles more, which is very strange for me because I'm usually...
Right?
Isn't that weird? Okay, yeah, like coming back, right? Because I know we used to play way more before like Switch Pokemon, and then you come back and you're like, why did I like singles? I'm so confused.
No, I still like singles, but the
Yeah.
doubles has been fun because of my stupid little homebrew team has been doing fairly well. It turns out forcing people to play the is it Metagross or is it Staraptor?
Oh, the double mega kind of thing.
Double megas
If
are
they
just the
get
way to
fine, they
go.
lose. The checks do not work on the other ones.
Yep.
There's always the fun of at some point sending out Garganacl and then having it click Explosion. It's literally never failed. I haven't
Incredible.
had anyone hit Protect once or bring in a Ghost type once, much less like a double Protect. I feel like that streak's gonna end at some point, but every time like, aha, I've got it, and then it has like 2 HP, blows up, and then they concede. So
Ladder is
I
so
love it.
much fun, actually. Ladder is a different experience than if you were to like go play at a regional, right? Because it's best of one and closed team sheet as well.
Yeah.
As opposed to like best of 3, open team sheet. But yeah, I've been doing way too much Pokemon Champions. I realized I had a problem because like I was playing this morning before we recorded actually, and just because the new season started this week, and I was like, oh, I should try to get to Master Ball. I got to Master Ball way faster for doubles than I ever had previously. Time wise, I don't know what number of battles wise, but definitely time wise. And then I'm almost there in singles right now, but I realized like I had a problem this morning because like I looked up to see like how much VP I had, and I had like 156,000 or something like that. And I was
What the heck?
I was like, oh no. I was like, oh no, I've been playing a lot. And that's partially because like I've been trying to hone the skill again now that it's on my phone. So it's easier. Especially if like the biggest appeal to the phone for me, other than, oh, hey, I can do something quick on my lunch break or something like that, has been if I'm like scrolling Twitter during like a 5-minute off time and I see a team that I think is super interesting, I can just go load that in real quick.
Yeah. Hop in and I don't just put it in there.
I can just go hop in and put it in. And so it's given me like so many teams that I go, oh man, I want to play this one. I want to play this one. I want to play this one. And I've done that a lot recently. Like there is the one I've been like super vibing with, mostly so I could get like the Feraligatr title. There was this team that popped up on Twitter a couple weeks ago for VGC, for doubles, not for singles. And it is the wildest team makeup you've ever seen. It was a Mega Staraptor team, but it also had Feraligatr, but not Mega Feraligatr, Sheer Force Life Orb Feraligatr. It had that one had Magnet Meowstic. I haven't figured out Magnet Meowstic because
Magnet Meowstic?
Yeah, I don't understand. It's okay. I think the answer is something Charge Beam special attack boost because it was female Meowstic. And you get special attack boost something that KOs Charizard. I don't really understand because the person who made the team, he's a Japanese player, and he just does what he does because I was like, oh, is there like a link to the team or something? Can I find it? And he's like, you could see the team here, and it's just a link to a 6-hour stream he did. And he sits there.
Okay.
It's the wildest process I've seen, and I really like it. But he goes and he'll like play a match, and he goes, okay, I felt really weak here and here. And he goes, how can I adjust that? And he'll go and he'll like adjust EVs between each game or something like that, or he'll swap out a Pokemon in between each game. And so the reason he doesn't have a rental code for the Meowstic is because he hadn't gotten there yet. Because the old version of the team was still online. So I actually got to grab that. It didn't have the Meowstic on it. It had a Choice Scarf Florges instead. which is surprisingly good. It is surprisingly fun. It like if you play against rain or something, which I think the team's biggest weakness is rain or weather in general, but mostly rain. The team itself actually struggles in that arena, just because you can't do much. You have to like make some really smart, intelligent predicts, which I am not smart enough or intelligent enough to make just yet.
That's what you said earlier, honing the skill.
Yeah. Well, that's why I've been playing so much, because I'm like, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to be the guy that can do this. And so I've been making it also kind of my personal goal every season as well. Not just to like make Master Ball, right? Which I think is a feat in and of itself, but I try to get myself to the point where like I'm in like the top 20,000 or something like that. So I'm not quite rank 1 Master Ball, but I want to try to at least be like, I want to try to get like top 20,000. And it turns out that's actually, I didn't realize that was like way higher than I expected it to be based on the player base.
Yeah, it was like, what, 500,000?
Yeah, it was about 500,000 people in
Wow.
Master Ball this past season. Well, it grew a lot.
It turns out if you put it on the device that billions of people have,
Yeah.
you can get hundreds of millions of
Yeah.
That's in everybody's pocket. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize until the
Brain
last day
blast.
when I was like sitting in like 25th, 1000th place or something that I like saw some Twitter posts and like there are 500,000 people in Master Ball rank, and I was like, oh, I'm technically in the top 5%.
There you go.
I was like, that's
never even
exactly
made it.
where
I
I
haven't played
expected
enough.
to be.
Yeah.
My biggest achievement is I got the 50 wins with Raichu from
Perfect.
singles.
Perfect. That's all you need.
Like, you know what? I don't need. They're like, do you want to go for 100? I went, no. In fact,
You don't want to be Raichu Professor.
that's also like a weird. Like it's like Raichu Tamer. You're like, yeah, I have mastered this. It's like at the point where I'm supposed to be writing a dissertation. I think I'm good, actually.
I got the tag Giddy Old Man, and I have been rocking that since I got it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's a good one. The titles are pretty fun. Like the unique ones are pretty fun. I also like that they give them to you for the competitions and stuff. Which they announced a new one, and I think that's a great segue to talk about the news and things like that.
Yeah.
So let's go kick it on over to the news. Welcome to the news. In the news, we've got a few things to talk about. First and foremost, new Lego sets have appeared. There's a Zinnia Rayquaza set coming out. Also minifigs are in this set, which is also pretty exciting. There's a Munchlax. There's a little Pokeball diorama with more minifigs, which I really just want the minifigs. And then there's an Arcanine. Can they do like they do like the little blister packs of like the random minifigs for different things for Lego? If they could do that with Pokemon, I'd be into that.
I
haven't done Legos in
ask
so long.
yourself what blind boxes for Pokemon would do in this TCG world.
Oh my
And
god,
see,
yeah, that's
do you
true.
think that you would get any of them?
Oh, well, okay. So there are Japanese
really
blind
like the
boxes that
Pokeball.
exist. And my wife and I pick them up pretty semi-regularly because I sell them at Original 151, who maybe should sponsor us
Oh,
at this
yeah.
point, because I talk to them all the time. I talk about them all the time. But
Yeah, you do.
But they import a lot of Japanese stuff, including the blind boxes they have with like really cool little artwork things. Like some of my favorites are right now they've got this set that is like little Japanese settings for the Pokemon. They're very cute. They're very pretty. And so yeah, they're very cute, cool in that regard.
Yeah.
Yes, but the second they're Lego minifigures,
It's Lego. We're done. Yeah, no,
Instantly.
you're right. You're right. You're right.
I do like this Pokeball a lot. That's really
This
cool.
Pokeball's really cool. Good job. Good luck getting it, I guess. But
Yeah.
it's
I
very cool.
really vibe with the Munchlax. I don't know why. There's something about it. He's just having a
Man,
day.
I haven't even bought
It's got
Legos in so
gremlin energy.
long. I just haven't bought Legos in so long, and I'm just like, man, maybe I will. Maybe I'll be an adult
I
Lego
got that
person.
gigantic
Pretty good, too.
Baradur.
The Zinnia looks a little odd, but other than that,
Yeah.
The Ray looks really cool, and it looks like with the tower.
Yeah.
The good job, honestly, really good
Yeah.
job on all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And they aren't, I imagine, going to be $1 billion. They may be like $500 million.
$600. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. Legos.
Oh, they're online already. Oh,
Yeah. Also,
didn't know they were available.
in
already.
Pokemon Champions, there's going to be a new competition on July 29th. I love that they've been doing them monthly. This is way better than they ever did. They've done it in the recent past with these competitions. Global competitors determine will take part in the
This is
tournament to
funny.
determine the Pokemon champions, champion of champions.
This is so funny.
And this is you can sign up starting the 17th. Oh my gosh, it's actually wait, this is the different one. Never mind. This isn't this is a different tournament than the one I'm thinking of. This tournament is ridiculous. This tournament is I have to pull it up. There's a list of people. This tournament on July 29th, it has happening in London, and you can watch the stream. There are 8 individuals from different competitive backgrounds, all competing. There is the whistling champion from Spain. I'm not going to say any of these names because I'm going to mispronounce half of them. There's this is just 4 of them they're including. The pizza acrobatics champion, the pillow fighting champion, and the doing nothing champion. Later on, they're going to also announce the additional 4 competitors. Also, they're all going to be coached by Ray Rizzo, the world champion in 2010, 2011, and 2012 for VGC. What a ridiculous like set of people. It's ridiculous.
They had
I
$500 to get people.
Yeah. Well, no. Okay. I think I saw a lot of discussion about this because people were upset that it wasn't like real VGC players being invited. And I think it's hilarious, and I think this is great because one, it's hilarious. So you're gonna get people.
No, this is better.
You're gonna get people who don't watch VGC in the Pokemon community to come and watch this.
Yeah.
And you're gonna get
silly.
you're gonna get people from outside of Pokemon to come and watch this because how ridiculous is it that the pillow fighting champion and the doing nothing champion are.
What is pizza acrobatics?
What is pizza acrobatics? I don't know what pizza acrobatics is.
It's appropriate that
Pizza
he's from Italy, though.
acrobatics is a freestyle performance art where chefs juggle, twirl, and spin
No.
pizza dough.
You love it. Love it.
Oh my
This
god.
is incredible.
Wild.
My world.
Yeah.
See, if it was a bunch of people who did a bunch of VGC matches, do you know what I call that? Worlds. That's not exciting.
Yeah.
I just have discovered a new sport of whimsy and joy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good.
Also, I believe they've expanded the number of Pokemon you can choose on Pokemon Center now for your shirt. Yeah, we've gone past the original 25, and now you can go through like, oh my gosh, you can go through like Gen 2 now. I gotta buy a shirt. This is a business expense.
What are we talking?
So on PokemonCenter.com, they've unveiled this thing a while ago where you could go
Choose
make
your
a custom
favorite.
T-shirt with your favorite Pokemon on it. And
How do I not know about this?
they originally launched it with just the first 25 Pokemon, and now it's all the way down through Celebi.
Oh my god, they're all the way out to Celebi.
And they will be like regionals. So if you click on like Sneasel, there's Sneasel and
Yeah.
Hisui. Sneasel.
Yeah, so like if you
They
click,
have all the letters of unknown?
Mega Heracross.
yeah, if you click on Unknown, I'm sure all the letters are there. Absolutely. No, really? It's just the one letter?
It's just exclamation.
It's
no,
like-
okay.
You
click
can literally
through it.
scroll through all of them. I'm looking. Well,
Okay,
that's,
but it's not all the letters.
Yeah, it is.
A, B, C. Okay, now it is.
Yeah,
now it is.
Yeah, it is. It's all the letters.
It's in
They're
a
not gonna.
weird. It's in a weird order though. It's not alphabetical.
It's
I don't know what
No,
I'm
it's not
doing.
alphabetical.
by
I
the
will say
Japanese
that.
character.
I might go grab.
Regardless, I like unknown. I do think an unknown F shirt goes hard.
I might buy a couple of these. I
This is
legitimately might
great.
buy some of
This is
these.
the thing.
Now that they
I'm
went to
gonna
Gen
wait till
2,
Gen 3 drops.
I may
Oh yeah,
legitimately do
that'll
this.
get you now.
Oh yeah, I'm here. I'm in. We're gonna get a Totodile
You're
one. We're gonna
in.
get a Feraligatr one. We're gonna get. We're just gonna get a bunch of random ones. Like we're gonna get
wanna see the
Suicune.
regional
Suicune
variant.
used to be
What's the-
Puckle used to have a mascot
Sandshrew.
when we lived on the internet in the 2000s.
Yeah, if you look at our wiki or whatever, that we
a
one of us needs to get Bulbapedia edit attic access. In order
Yes,
to fix
we need to go
that.
fix that page. Yeah, really bad.
Hey, you're listening to a Pokemon podcast. Odds are pretty good that you have Bulbapedia edit access.
I don't.
We're doing it live,
They
folks.
have Bulbapedia editor access for that.
Write into
page.
the Puckle email if you have Bulbapedia edit access. That's puclpodcast@gmail.com.
That's how we got on the
Please,
Bulbapedia to
try to
begin
fix
with.
this for years.
Yeah, I know.
Please. We
I just
would
haven't
love
spent the
help
time
you.
to do it.
Help us, help you, help us.
Please. Yeah. I was about to make a bold claim that could have gotten us into a lot of trouble. I'm not going to do that. All right. Moving on. Pokemon Unite. Lynian, you've got this.
Oh
I
my
do.
god.
Palkia is coming to Unite later this week.
I didn't know it was that soon. I'm so behind on everything. Oh my god.
I don't know why Palkia is my breaking point, but I cannot imagine that guy waddling around to try to collect points in basketball.
Its walking animation is so awkward. I hope it floats. I hope it floats like it does in every media ever.
I hope it
Yeah.
teleports. It's not balanced. I just hope it teleports because I can't imagine that thing moving.
Unite
gonna
has
do
been
that
doing
really-
an interesting thing where it's been doing all of the like red version legends. Eviltal came out like a couple of weeks ago, which is very fun to use. My little IRL friend group pod, I'll call it, got back into Unite in the last couple of weeks because we just kind of were like, you know what I miss? I miss running around and playing a dying game. So we all got on, and I very quickly unlocked Eveltal, and I've been having a blast with that thing.
I will argue that I think Pokemon Unite probably has more staying power than something like Pokken Tournament, but
I mean, yes,
It has,
yes.
in fact.
It has, in fact, outlasted that, as well as the, Confederacy. It's been around longer than that. So, because this year is the 5th anniversary. That's really what happened a couple weeks ago. If you go on, in fact, right now, I'll put a PSA out there. If you haven't played Unite in a while, log on to the game. Do it for a couple of days because they are over the next month giving out so much free stuff.
I believe that. They do that every year.
Unite licenses for things if you log in a couple days in a row. You can get HoloWare for those if you log in a couple days in a row. I think it starts with Speedsters, and on your first login, you get a Speedster license. On your second login, you get a Speedster HoloWare from just something. Log on. Get your free stuff. Don't touch it again for whoever knows how long, but you got a lot of free stuff now.
All right.
In other news about dying games,
I was so surprised they did this. By the way, I saw this news and I was like, I can't believe they did this.
Neither can I, but I'm. I think it's very cool.
Yeah,
because it's temporary. ZA's 14th season brings back Sky Battles. The only legal Pokemon are Pokemon to fly. You have to choose if you want Mega Eveltal or Mega Rayquaza on your team.
Pretty much.
So you pick
right.
Mega Rayquaza and you do not blink.
Yeah.
This is part of the Mega Rayquaza calendar. So we're waiting for 3 more collaborations after July.
They're doing so much for Rayquaza, and the TCG sets, I should say. Pocket has its thing coming out for Rayquaza here soon. The actual TCG has its Rayquaza set coming out in, I think, November, October, after the 30th anniversary collab. So they're pushing Rayquaza so hard. So
if they don't end that with some kind of announcement for Pokemon Emerald, they should fire their marketing person. They should fire their marketing person, right?
Literally, or
for Switch too.
Yeah,
or in Worlds, there's a Weewa quick trailer, Winds and Waves quick trailer, and it just ends on the Mega Evolution symbol again, and everyone freaks out. Come on.
Yeah, there is a chance for them to do something really cool, and the only reason that
acknowledged that their best gimmick was Megas the whole time.
They've known.
Get to more later.
They've known.
Yes, but the thing is, it's not the Mega Evolution logo in the thing, so it's not going to be Mega Evolution for Gen 10. It may also be in there.
It'll be co-starring with guest appearance of.
I wouldn't be surprised especially with
Scarlet Violet has a new 7-star Magikarp parade.
It's more than Magikarp, but yeah.
There's a new 7-star raid. Magikarp and a bunch of marked boosted Pokemon are having outbreaks, including Ferocious Mark White Basculin. If you want to bling out your Basculegion in Champions.
What?
I do. Yeah, no, they came out with a bunch of really cool marks for a bunch of random Pokemon.
I may need to actually load that game up again. My
there's,
God.
There's a
I have been so
Dondozo.
behind.
There's a Dondozo with the Rowdy mark. There's Tatsugiri's with the Crafty mark. Veluza's with the Ferocious mark. And these titles give you the Rowdy, the Opportunist, or the Rampaging, respectively.
I wish that the Veluzas could become Veluza the Vaulting.
Yeah. Oh, that would be better.
Love it.
There's also there's going to be Psyduck with the Absent-Minded mark, making it the Spacey. Slowpoke with the Zoned Out mark, the Daydreamer. Feebas with the Prideful mark, the Arrogant, the Basculin, as Lynian mentioned, which is the Ferocious mark, and it's the Rampaging. So that'd be really cool for Basculegion that everybody's using. And then there's also Lapras with the Intellectual mark, who would be the Scholar.
Lapras the Scholar, famous student of the high seas.
Yes.
I don't know how difficult the Magikarp is gonna be.
I don't know.
It's
nobody knows.
I don't know how hard it can be, but I'm afraid.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
The new champion season runs through August 4th. There's going to be another singles tournament, and you'll get a Mawile if you participate.
No, that one already happened, I think.
Nope.
Oh, no, never mind. Never did. No, it didn't. I lied. Thatch misremembered. There's too many things happening.
That's trying to lead you astray, dear listeners. You heard it here.
I know nothing about Pokemon, it turns out.
I know nothing.
I've been a fraud for 20 years. Been a fraud. I know nothing.
All
well, actually,
right.
if you listen to the early episodes, I definitely know nothing. But that's a whole other thing.
Well, let me take over because now it's the different highlighted color. We've got a little bit of Go news. We've got a special anniversary Pikachu celebration coming this week, bringing back the many forms of costume Pikachu that take their place in Go. So you can go grab those.
How do I not have any of these? I have so many Pikachus.
I know, right? It's crazy. And speaking of Pikachu stuff, Saturday we'll have Mega Raichu raids.
Ooh,
so they're adding that to the game pretty quickly.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On to the next IP group. It's the TCG. And this Friday, Pitch Black officially releases. So you can go grab that if you're lucky. The pull rates have seemed pretty good. We did our pre-release, and there's some fun things coming out of this. I would say that it's still not a set that really changes much as far as like meta decks go. Your best deck is still going to be Dragapult by far, but there's some cool stuff in here. There's been some chatter about if we can make Darkrai work. There's been some chatter about can we make Mega Chandelure work. It's actually got a decent enough standing, I would say. The best other decks that are in there are Mega Excadrill, which actually does a pretty dang good job. And the most fun deck by far is this season's version of Night March, which is Hide and Sneak, which
Exciting.
It's a really funny deck. It's a really, honestly, surprisingly effective deck. Basically, you have a Delmise that does 170 if you have 4 or more Pokemon with the Hide and Sneak ability in your discard pile. The Hide and Sneak ability says that this Pokemon can't be damaged or affected by attacks when it's on the bench. So it's a really good, solid, built into itself strategy. And if you love throwing cards away into the discard pile, it's for you. Golgari players, this is your deck.
Wrong game, Seth.
I know, but we're looking to bring people in to Pokemon.
I don't know that Puckle is the. I don't think know that Puckle is the avenue.
Now. More people buying cards.
Whoops, bump. Yeah, yes. But honestly, I've had a great time with it. The one complaint I'll have about Hide and Sneak is that if you get the Build and Battle pre-release kits, the freaking pack that comes with the pre-built deck comes with one Delmise. Uno. That's it. You got to be lucky to pull the rest. So it's really stupid. Your primary attacker isn't even in there, but regardless. Other than that, we've got the drip feed of new cards for that. I forget what it's called. The one that Rayquaza is coming out in.
I forget what that's called too. Something Sky.
Something Delta Sky Break Sky Legend Delta Quaza Meteor. That one. That's it. The new stadium is actually kind of cool. There seems to be a little bit of synergy when healing is involved because it's a new one of those stadiums where you have to have both pieces of it out at the same time. And it says, whenever any Pokemon, yours or your opponent's, is healed, double the amount of damage being healed. So, and it's a big old whirlpool Charybdis kind of situation on the art. It's really cool looking, honestly.
In the whirlpool.
Oh crap! You're right. It is a Pokeball. I didn't
How
even.
did you miss that? It's a giant Pokeball.
I saw Charybdis, and I kept myself from seeing the rest. I'm an idiot.
I don't think whirlpools work that way as well. With how
whirlpools would not work that way.
Like,
Physics would not work that way.
Niagara Falls. The whirlpool is very much up. Is that a Gemini logo? No.
So that's cool.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it, Seth.
But yeah, it looks really cool. And there's an item in there that does a little bit of healing and then heals you more for how many of that item is in your discard pile. So there's some cool stuff coming out of this. It looks like this set's going to be fun. I'll say fun. I don't know if it'll be impactful, but it'll be fun. Good.
Yeah.
I'm sure the Rayquaza will be good enough for something.
We've seen it. It's okay.
Yeah.
The coolest card coming out of it is Talonflame by far.
That's probably true.
Is it an EX?
It's an EX, and it can jump onto your bench from your hand.
It's just like the old Talonflame from Steam Siege.
Not quite. It can do it at any point.
Okay, that's even cool.
By the way,
And
it's
because
called Form Emeralda.
Emerald Delta, whatever. But
they're
because of
1,000%.
how the Talonflame is worded, and we've seen how it is in English because that was officially revealed. With how it's worded, there's a stadium right now that turns off the abilities of colorless Pokemon. So you would think, crud, the colorless Talonflame EX can't do it. Au contraire, it does not turn off abilities while it's in your hand, unlike things like Path to the Peak, which turned them off no matter which zone they were in. The Team Rocket's Watchtower only turns off colorless abilities of Pokemon on the field. So since Talonflame's ability is being activated from your hand, you can put it on the field anyway.
Cool.
So get ready to call a judge over for that one.
Let me go and do a couple things real quick to clean up what we're doing. First and foremost, our badge bonanza at PUCL this month is going to be a Pokemon Go Pokédoku that you can fill out. I really do like that idea. We need to expand that into other things for PUCL's
That's
badge
real
bonanza. And then we've also got the weekly VGC tournament that happens every Saturday at 6:30 p.m. You guys should jump into it if you got time. Especially now it's on mobile. You have no excuse. You could be riding in the car. You could be going on your family vacation, riding in your car.
My excuse no longer works. Dang it.
You can't be like, Thatch, I'm going on family vacation. I can't do this. I need to spend time with my family. And I would be like, no, you
Joke's
don't.
on you.
You have your phone. You're going to be on it anyway.
You know they're going to talk about something boring anyway. Jump in then.
If you listen to the podcast, you can play this.
Steer the conversation right like 10 minutes before the tournament starts to something that you aren't involved with, like how your sibling has done that stupid thing again. Point the direction there so the focus is off you.
I like that we're really just discussing social manipulation techniques.
Me, never. I've never manipulated anybody.
That's how you know we're Pokemon
That's also, in Wo-Chan's News Corner, news brought to you at a snail's pace, made to make all the hosts feel old. 10 years ago this week, this small indie game, Pokemon Go, released. That's true. I do remember that. Also, Salandit was revealed at Japan Expo. I do miss the footprints. And it's good to know that the world hasn't changed. I got recently for a Pokemon Go Fest happening this week. I got a notification from like a local park here. And they said they put out like a whole thing about Pokemon Go players and how they need to not set up tents in the park and how they needed to actually park in parking spaces and not the grass. And they go, we will go to Niantic and have them remove
again, baby.
We will go and remove all the Pokestops from the park if you guys break these rules.
I remember I went to a park in 2016 and I just went to it and I parked my car there in front of a store that was closed at the time because it was the evening. I parked there and I was just sitting there and a cop comes up beside my car in the parking spot beside my car. And he just does the whole like window down kind of hand gesture. And I do. And he was like, "You playing Pokemon?" And I was like, "Yes, sir, I am." And he's like, "All right, don't stick around too long." Yes, sir.
Summer where this came out, a bunch of my friends and I were walking around the local like main street of the town, and there was a Geodude, so not a high value Pokemon by any metric. And it was just like across a parking lot. My friend decided what she was gonna do was kind of like cut through the parking lot, get it, and then hop back to where we were.
Oh
It was
no.
a little dark, not that dark, not dark enough that there's an excuse for this. She found a brick with her foot and broke a toe.
Pokemon Go has plenty of these stories. I remember when they used to just like put them in people's backyards and stuff. There was a problem. Like it was.
Oh, yeah.
Because the problem was
Listening to this, yeah, you will never live that down.
I do remember the original like gyms and Pokestops, because the problem was, well, problem in quotes, is that they just took all of Ingress's data and used all of the Ingress points as
Just
stops
dropped
and
it in there
gyms.
that people
And
have
the
been building.
problem was that the Ingress players used to really test the limits of what they could mark as locations of interest.
My house is a public area.
Yeah, and so they would like mark their houses and stuff in Ingress. So
If
that they
I
had
tell you what, if I take a good enough picture with the right framing of my backyard, I could tell them that's a public park. That's easy to do.
I remember this.
Yeah, I could
well,
do it.
I forget. I think they're called portals at Ingress. They used to say, "Oh, I have a porch portal," and they would just call them porch portals. Like it was a known thing in the community.
And your house is a gym now.
Now yours is a gym, and people are in your front yard trying to fight it.
Yep.
All right. Well, that has been our news segment. It's gone on longer than it should have. But we're gonna go ahead, guys. We've got a topic to talk about, so we're gonna go ahead and kick it on over to the topic. Welcome to our topic. Our topic today is going to be Pokemon arrows. What are they and what do they mean?
What does that even mean?
What does that mean? I think Lynian.
We each have a different opinion, and one of us is
I don't
right.
know. Yeah, none of us are right. Yeah. None of us are right. The youth will all disagree with us.
Exactly.
Because I think Lynian saw essentially some Twitter post where somebody tried to claim something about the eras.
Tell us an idea where it came
from. And they
from,
were
Lynian.
wrong. They were wrong.
Yeah.
I saw it. It was not on Twitter. It was worse. It was on Reddit.
That's even okay. Never mind. They're wrong no matter what age they are.
Exactly. Someone was trying to argue that classic Pokemon ended in Gen 5.
Oh, okay.
And they're like, yeah, everything Gen 5 and earlier is all classic Pokemon. I'm like, there are so many reasons this is wrong.
I
don't even care how you define it.
Yeah.
This cannot be correct.
It's not
the
correct.
only way that this is correct is if you think that classic Pokemon ends when you can walk diagonally.
Fair.
That's about it, really.
Well, I think if it depends. So I imagine the person's probably a younger person that made this claim. But because I thought about this a lot when you first mentioned it a couple days ago, and I was thinking about this, and I was like, well, I think if you're like agnostic and you're only looking at the games, maybe you could make that argument. If you're a younger person who didn't live through it,
transition point, but
it's absolutely a transition point.
Classic, no.
Yeah.
There's so much both just at the games and at the like corporate planning level where I do not think this is a reasonable point. But you get 5 Pokemon fans and ask them how they define the eras of Pokemon. You get 5 different answers. So now that we've appropriately dunked on this,
well, you're about to get 3.
3-ish, 2.5, I think. But I think like 2.5. But yeah, I think that's correct. I guess the best thing to do is to begin. I mean, if you have any conversation about anything like this in an appropriate debate, which this is not a debate, but I'm trying to work out how we do a debate format on the show because I really want to try to do that like once a month where like 2 people have different opinions and we just have a debate. Because I found out that the recording software we're using has like an integrated timer, so you can have a timer on your screen for how long you get to talk. Yeah,
give me a chess clock.
Yeah, we get some chess clock going for debate.
And in that case, Your Honor, I would like to close my argument.
Yeah.
You went for Deep Southern. I was going to go for Angry New Yorker rant, and I yield my time.
I mean,
Perfect.
are those not the two echelons of?
Yes, that's exactly it.
Is
I'm
that
pretty sure
not?
that's what the Civil War was, actually.
Your Honor,
But
I beg
Yeah.
to differ.
eras of Pokemon. uh, so the era, when I think of an era, the way I kind of contextualize it is I think of I mean it is transition points at the end of the day, right? Like we have something big happens, there's a big transition. I do think saying something as easy as going classic Pokemon is up to Gen 5, which is an absurd stance.
That's
for a number of
take.
reasons. I think there are more significant transition points in those first 5 generations that take place other than like the jump to 3D or something like that in Pokemon. And I think most of us would probably agree that Gen 5 is like one of the end or the beginning of, some era.
Yeah, it's definitely a transitional point.
Yeah.
I think I would define era as a set of games and media that shares a core design philosophy that is different from the games that came immediately before and immediately after.
Yeah.
I think
I'd
that
agree.
is a functional definition of when we say era. So
Yeah.
it is you pick up a game from one era, and it will have more in common with the other games you have grouped it with than the sets immediately before and the sets immediately after. We can argue about where that transition point would lie, but Gen 2 plays very differently than Gen 8.
Yes.
And
Yes.
while there are some obviously same franchise, there will be core continuities. There are going to be significant differences in how the games are designed, how the games are meant to be played, who they're designed for, that will change the whole project so substantially. They're not quite equivalent when you're talking about them.
I absolutely agree.
That's how I define it.
Fair. Okay.
I think that's a very good it's a very good summary. Because so I kind of see this, and I want you guys to definitely disagree with me or not agree with me, but like I see I'm going to put a number on the number of eras, if that makes sense, right?
Okay.
I personally think
what do you got?
if I were to throw it, I'm not even going to put a hard number because I'm going to say ish at the end. But the answer is, for me personally, is probably about 4-ish. I think 4-ish is probably where I put things.
4 eras in a sense.
4 eras of Pokemon. And they're almost more or less like based on console, but that's
yeah. I mean, you can't help but when you're talking about an era being something like a design thing, you can't completely exclude the influence of console jumps from that discussion.
It's
that
not even
is
just
a very significant factor.
It's not even just that, but so I guess the way to structure this maybe is to talk about what we would say is like our first era and what we would see after that.
Sure.
And because I think that this is a pretty decent jumping off point, but the way I kind of see it in my mind, because I since it's probably different than somebody younger who might have made that Reddit post, who probably is looking at classic Pokemon as these are the games that existed before I was born. And I decided that these are classic Pokemon because they're 2D or something like that. And which is essentially the equivalent of saying you can walk diagonally now. So
yeah,
I think that might be to some extent, but we've lived through it more or less in different ways. Seth and I certainly did from the Genesis all the way through. And
yes, my boy. Yes, we are.
I like that you talk about it like you're so much older than me, and I'm basically 30.
I know, but those 5 years make a difference.
I know that those are significant few years, but it also sounds like you're like 10 years older than me.
I had to get a new glasses prescription the other day.
We were talking about that before the show, yeah.
My eyes aren't what they used to be, my boy.
So I think about like
do you know how to catch a Pokemon?
Well, okay, so I can't separate especially early Pokemon and even Pokemon now from the way I interact with Pokemon, but also the way that Pokemon presents itself.
Yeah,
and has historically presented itself. So for me, because I did this with the anime to some extent myself, at the same time, like the old school anime before Pokemon Horizons that's the one that I have now. Because everybody's watching Liko and Roy now as opposed to watching Ash on TV, and I think my biggest thing that I can think of when I think about the anime, I go, the first 5 seasons are like its own thing. And then they obviously were just like, man, maybe we should like get rid of the rest of the characters and like move on. And they obviously tried it and gave up. And
Yeah.
so that is what it is, I think, in some extent. So I see Gens 1 and 2 as like the first era. Like that's first Pokemon because one, it was supposed to end there and they treated it like it was supposed to end there.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to even say like Gen 2 is its own generation. I feel like Gen 2 is just like more Gen 1, if that makes sense.
Agreed. Yeah.
The big thing for me is that Gen 1 was made as, hey, this is a theoretical video game style. Like they were not sitting out to make a Pokemon game. They were setting out to make an RPG with monster catching elements, which
Yes.
is a genre. And
Yep.
so they made the game and they're like, where are we setting it? It's Tokyo, but not. It's the Kanto region, but like just make it colors. It doesn't matter. World building is loose to irrelevant. You just kind of show up. And then they made Gen 2, which was, we made a video game. Let's make a sequel to that video game.
Yep.
These are the only 2 games that were made in that style. After this point, the devs had seen what Pokemania was going to do and had been. And Gens 3 on have all been made as, we're making a Pokemon game.
Fair point. Okay.
We are making RPGs.
I agree with this actually. Gen 1 and 2 we made an RPG and here's the game. And then it became Pokemon, it became its own style. I think Gen 1 and 2 are the foundation and basis, and that's kind of where I always put my transition point there. It's also where like outside of the video games as well, where Pokemon kind of starts to develop its style guide, because it didn't have one for the longest time. My favorite thing to reference, and I'm not sure how many people know about this, but there's a style guide if you were to interact with Pokemon as a property, or to draw Pokemon, or to make an anime as a third party. They send you essentially a packet, and they go, these are the things that you are allowed to do and the things you are not allowed to do. And the first one that always sticks out to me is they go, there are no real animals in the Pokemon world. You can only have Pokemon. Pokemon are the animals in the Pokemon world. Like it says that as part of the style guide. And then you watch like episode 7 of the anime and there's a fish in a fish tank.
Yeah.
And that was because they were still trying to figure it out. Like at the time, the Pokemon anime was only supposed to run 1 season.
There's more than 150 animals.
Yeah.
There's that too.
Yeah.
There's a Pokemon, the anime, the original show, was made as a tie-in to promote the video game.
Mm-hmm.
This was really, really common in Japan in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
It's still a little common, but it's not as big of a thing where like you would just have the advertisement show. Now it's just all gotcha games, and I'm sorry for the children. But there was a very that is a very Japanese 90s thing, was coming out of that post-economic boom. Were these merch driven shows. So you would have like, hey, we've got a new video game coming out. Here's a 15 issue manga, 1 season of TV, and this is part of our advertising blitz because it's really cheap to print and it's really cheap to get this animation in. So they're like, we'll just put a fish in the tank. Who cares? This is the smallest thing we're ever going to work on. Nintendo's just kind of trying to do this. Next, we've got 2 seasons of Mario and a Donkey Kong OVA. Like, that was just kind of the thing.
That's kind of how it worked. Yeah.
No, it's so fun. Looking back at a lot of that, though, just while they developed the whole thing, it's really funny. Some of my favorite things to watch is because... for better or for worse, a lot of the voice actors from the original run of the anime, like Pokemon's like their magnum opus, right? Like this is what they're known for. And so they do a lot of conventions and they tell a lot of stories about the original run. And my favorite person to listen to, he has a podcast, but he makes like 1 episode a year. Was the original producer for the anime, like on the English side, like for the dub. And he's like, we had no idea what we were doing. He was just like, we didn't know how to pronounce names. We didn't know what the Pokemon were supposed to sound like. They gave us nothing. So we kind of just made it up as we went. And so that's why, especially if you catch early episodes, like some things are just mispronounced horribly. Sometimes they call the wrong
Jelly-filled
Pokemon
donut.
the wrong name. Oh, the jelly-filled donut's the funniest one. But yeah, it's wild thinking about it. But yeah, so I mean, my first era would be, Gens 1 and 2. And are we all in agreement about that? Or do we have differences?
I think we are. I think from what we've kind of preliminarily discussed, I think that we're all in agreement there. And I'll give a little teaser that when I was coming up with kind of like what I would consider my eras in a sense, I was trying to also this helped me a lot. I was trying to assign them names. Like this is the this era, this is the this era. And when I put Gen 1 and 2 together, this is the creation era.
The creation era.
So
like
it's when they were making
I would call it
the IP.
I would even call it like the foundation. I don't know. Like it's just the
foundation era. It was the word that I first thought of, and so that's what locked in. So yeah, the creation, the foundation, the baseline, that is that era to me. So,
I even like to make it seem like the Gen 1 and 2 are kind of the style guide that it for the rest of the franchise. It built the rails.
I do have names for mine, but
nice.
They're very revealing of how I'm looking at this, because these two are labeled in my little note thing here as "Let's make a video game."
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
Fair. I like you said in your thing a minute ago. Absolutely,
you're correct. Yeah.
So I think we all have a little bit of it. I think this is where we start drawing lines differently.
Maybe. Maybe.
Here we go.
My next era that I've got here is called "Let's make a franchise."
Okay.
Speak on that. Oh, yeah. I speak on it and then reveal at the end what you reveal it to be, right?
So we're coming out of Gen 2. We've got millions of dollars in the bank now. Pokemon exploded basically immediately, but because of video game production, Gen 2 was mostly finished by the time they realized that they had made the best selling thing ever.
Yes.
They knew that they had enough money to make a sequel and that it was probably going to do well by test audiences, but they had no idea what was going to happen when it hit overseas by the time they were over a year into development.
Yeah.
Where they went, oh no, what have we made?
A little bit.
What have I wrought?
They knew that they were going to be the biggest video game that Nintendo had other than Mario. And now you have expectations, and also you have corporate brand strategy.
Yep.
One of the biggest changes that you will see to Pokemon over the years is how they went from we are a Japanese video game to we are a worldwide video game.
Yes.
Gen 3 is where this starts, but it is not where it picks up hardest. That's later down the line.
Spoilers.
Oh, it certainly is. I agree with that, actually. Yeah.
They're still making there's everything for gens like 3, 4 are still based pretty heavily in Japan, for instance. And they just kind of expect people to know what's going on with that. In general, though, these games are now being made for a Japanese child market first with an eye to international distribution, instead of looking at a Japanese kid market. They know that these are going abroad. That's part of their marketing strategy. The style guide is a bit thicker when they're handing it to the dub guys now.
It exists.
Yeah. They're mechanically, the games are future-proofing a bit. Gen 3 adding abilities means that Pokemon are more than just stat piles now. They've added some types to make the game better, but this is where they start balancing them. You'll see mono types, not in like balancing how they interact, but like distribution is going to be
Pokemon distribution.
Now.
Yeah.
Moves are going to be broader now. This will really kick off more in Gen 4, where they do physical special split. But with each game, and in Gen 5, hidden abilities and form changes on abilities, they are differentiating Pokemon further and further, and they are building more design space so that they can have 1,000 Pokemon. At the end of Gen 2, there are a finite number of interesting Pokemon you can have, and that number is less than 300 with the mechanics as they are. By the end of Gen 5, you can have 1,000 Pokemon, and they will all be interesting and different.
Very good, very well worded.
I agree with that. I do agree with that. Yeah,
They also build a formula, and these are the three. I'd say it ends in Gen 5, and these are the most formulaic games out of any of them. Even Gen 6 strains it more. It's arguably formulaic as much as these, but these are like to the beat.
No,
they
have
get
the beat.
Evil teams with plots, and they're very lame.
I agree with this, actually. I agree with most things. I think that, well, so one, I think another interesting observation to make with that shift from Gen 2 to Gen 3 is that's also when Satoshi Tajiri decided to kind of sit back and just kind of take an executive producer role at Game Freak. Yeah, he hasn't, made a game since then, a Pokemon game. And he's just kind of sat in the backseat. And then we really get like Junichi Masuda really driving the ship for the longest time. Starting here. And Gen 3 is like a really interesting concept. It's also, I don't know how I really interpret this, like a very not facetious, but a really like pessimistic version of Thatch. Would say that like this is where I think that Game Freak doesn't understand what they've made or why it's successful sometimes. Because originally Gen 3, for people who are unaware, they were slated to just make like all new Pokemon for Gen 3. It was supposed to be a dex of 200 new Pokemon. No old Pokemon. That's why Gen 3 has such a huge new Pokemon glut compared to most other generations. I think it's the most outside of Gen 5.
I think that's right.
Because they were planning on just doing that. It turns out they just ran out of time, and so they wanted the dex of 200. So they just kind of filled in the remaining gaps with the archetypes of Pokemon they were missing, and that's how we end up with the Hoenn Pokedex.
I love it.
And wait, I mean, it's cool. We still got some cool Pokemon. I think some of the coolest starters are the Gen 3 starters, and stuff like that. I think that I agree with this era designation, by the way, because I think this is kind of the era of how do we like demonstrating the Pokemon formula, like Lynian said. Here's your 8 badges, here's your evil team. And outside of, I would argue, maybe Team Galactic, they try to make it interesting. Team Galactic, I think they were just like, how can we make this just seem like the most evil person that could exist?
Yeah, the thing is, when you're 10, that works, though.
Yeah, it does work.
He's going to destroy the world that he almost did. I remember genuinely being, like, nervous.
Really? I was
13 and above such mortal fears, but...
Yeah, I was like 14 or 15. I think the thing I was most excited for with Gen 4 when it came out was, I kid you not, with Gen 4, I was the most excited for Wi-Fi battles. Because that was such a cool concept at the time. I'm not even talking about
that
Pokemon
USB
stuff.
Stick that you had to plug into your computer.
Dude, I learned so much about networking because networking was so gross back then. And
so dumb.
If you bought the wrong router,
what?
If you bought the wrong router, you couldn't connect your DS properly. Which my parents did. So I had to like sit there and like figure it out so that I could play competitive Pokemon online. I was also very excited for the physical special split, which to Lynian's point is also very good. In terms of just like longevity and making Pokemon seem unique. And I don't know, like Gen 4 was very good. I think Gen 5, they took some risks because they tried to go back to this original idea of we want all new Pokemon in the regions. And that definitely didn't sit well with the fans at the time. I think the same thing would happen still now. Like if you walked into a generation with all new Pokemon in the game, I really do believe that you would get a little bit of pushback. Like, I think the only games in the history of Pokemon that you can't catch a Pikachu in are Pokemon Black and White.
Yeah,
which is wild to me. Like that's a wild thought. So I think that also like caused some other internal things that kind of like lead us to this to what we get in Gen 6. But I don't want to like spoil things. But yeah, I agree with this designation. Do you agree with that designation, Seth? I guess is the next question, right?
Kind of. Here's where our first delta happens, folks, because I group the next era for me just Gen 3 and 4.
I could see that though. I could see that.
Those. And I call this.
I imagine the soft reboot. Why?
Kind of. I group those as the fine-tuning era.
I agree with that. I could see a
And
split there.
what I see there is that is where the most how does the game work on the back end kind of changes were happening. We've mentioned it a couple times. We've got the abilities being introduced in Gen 3 to make things even more unique. We've got the physical special split, which is one of the most impactful changes they ever came up with. It made it so things like Flareon were usable. Like that, those kind of things, like usable, so they can actually use a physical fire move, like a fire move that uses its attack stat,
Yeah.
as opposed to its 65 special, like what, or 90, I don't remember, whatever. But it was when they were solidifying how the game worked and how it was going to be, and this is kind of what it was going forward. And from that point, like EVs and IVs, nature's existing, abilities existing, from the core feature of the game, which is the battles, from the kind of theming of it, how it goes, it kind of extends it from Gen 2 with like, here's an evil team, fight it, here's something cool. But it was kind of solidifying what a Pokemon game is from a mechanical standpoint. From end of Gen 4 on, it's pretty much the same system with very limited changes from there. And when you end a generation by quite literally meeting God, that's a pretty good capstone. And when I would classify, if I was to go onto this Reddit thread and respond to this person who came up with this, I would say not quite. I group classic Pokemon as Gen 4 and below. That's my line.
I can almost validate that or agree with that. I don't know if I still think Gen 5 I would group in, because if not, I think I would put Gen 5 alone.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that next piece, because y'all have kind of said your Gen 5 is kind of included in your cutoff.
Yeah.
Generation 5 is in a era all its own to me. I call Generation 5 the grand experiment era. Because
no, you're right. You're right. No, you were right. You're right. No, they did take a bold step forward, I think, with Gen 5.
They took an extremely bold step forward by, honestly, the no new old Pokemon, only new Pokemon thing. The concept of like a redeemable hero or a redeemable villain, pardon me, with N being like, oh, he's actually very, very emotionally abused. He's not truly evil. It was kind of the end of like the rivals being really, really rivals and the bad guys being really, really bad guys, except for like the one that does something. Getsus was a irredeemable piece of something. But the concept of a sequel game instead of just a third version, which is just a reskin version of the previous ones, that was an experiment. The concept of some of the multiplayer connectivity and being able to jump into another player's world. Generation 5 is where a lot of the experimentation that we see now in games many years and generations later are reappearing perfected. And I don't think that Gen 5 truly fits in any era. It doesn't fit in the Gen 4 when they were kind of establishing and making the baseline of what a Pokemon game is. It doesn't fit into the new kind of era of things because so many features and functions are different. And so I personally group it alone. What say you guys? How wrong am I?
I mean, I don't disagree that Gen 5's weird. It was definitely a transition point and a turning point with how Pokemon worked. I think the reception of that definitely shaped and still shapes a lot of Pokemon.
I was going to get into more of that later too, but I can see what you're going with it.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm sure we'll talk about that like post Gen 5, but because there's definitely like, I think we all agree that like Gen 5 after that there's a turning point, obviously, and it's not because I think the jump to 3D is not the reason.
No, that is not. That's like of all the many.
It's a
reasons.
Secondary.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, and they went to this. Oh yeah, they have faded 3D models now.
I was about to make a joke about the shinies not being as good.
Yeah.
I think had history taken a different course, I could see this. Back to my definition of era.
Yeah.
It resembles Gen 4 pretty substantially, other than a couple of there are some bold decisions that are being made, but there are also that in Gen 4 and in Gen 3 with the physical special split or with the introduction of abilities. I think it follows as a more natural progression of that than it does as anything after it. And I think there are too many core similarities that they keep calling back to. The ways that it has been innovated out of mean that it is a transitional fossil, but it is still more similar to the other games in the era I'm grouping it with than standing on its own. It's less unique.
How about this then?
Required.
How about this then? Instead of calling it the Grand Experiment, let's call it the Capstone.
I would call it a capstone. I would call it a capstone to the end of that first era, if that makes sense. Because I think
If we're
you're talking about the fine tuning, right, Seth?
Yeah.
It's a very similar argument to yours, right? They fine tune this idea of like, here's how stats work, here's abilities, here's the fine tuning of how stats work, and then they go, okay, now let's fine tune the game design.
Ladies and gentlemen,
like,
it's
how do we
been
move
10
forward?
years.
Yeah.
Here is our Pokemon RPG in its final form.
Yeah,
Our perfect Pokemon game after we've figured out and made all the mechanical changes. We have now done it. Here is Unova.
And everyone hated it.
And everyone
time.
hated it, which
At the
leads
time,
us
certainly.
to our next point of discussion.
Yeah.
Like, this is going to be very important for what's going forward.
Yes.
People hated it.
I
At
still
launch,
do.
Absolutely. It was not.
Gen 5 critically flopped. Fans did not like it. They didn't like the games. They didn't like the anime. They didn't like the new Pokemon. They didn't like the game design. Gen 5 killed my enjoyment of the game for 5 years.
It did that
It
for
did that to a
so
lot of
many
people.
people.
Did that for a lot of people.
It was a grand experiment, and we need to know it unequivocally failed.
Yes. And all you
the
people
bold
on
step
Twitter,
forward-
talking about how you were Gen 5 fans from the beginning, I see you, and I know what you posted when the games came out. I know you're lying.
Oh, no, that's so true, though, because this happens all the time, and I think it's just nostalgia that Pokemon fans have, because
the games
Lynian-
are fine.
well,
I don't
yeah.
love them. They're the most linear Pokemon games in that you travel a line. People say, oh, it's a circle. No, it isn't. You get to the top of the circle by the end of the game. It is a line.
You don't go to the other half of the circle till the post game.
Yep.
People talk about Alola and Galar being super linear, and they are, but nothing. They don't have anything on Unova.
I think Alola and Galar have other issues that aren't that.
I'm not saying they're perfect. I'm just saying
none of them are
linearity is
perfect.
not as bad as it has looked.
Yeah.
It was a bold step directly onto a landmine.
Yes.
Yes. No, they were very poorly received. I do remember at launch them being very poorly received. I believe also Black and White 2 were like the worst selling Pokemon games for like a mainline for the longest time.
They're not okay. They're not as bad as people said they were.
No,
they
but
were not great though. There are genuine problems with Gen 5 that go beyond. There's an ice cream in a trash bag.
Oh, I don't care about that.
That's a whole thing.
That's a terrible fight. That one. Okay, if we want to talk about bad Pokemon designs from Gen 5, it's not the trash bag or the ice cream cone. It's just Machamp number 2, Golem number 3,
Hitmonlee 2, Hitmonchan 2.
Like we want to talk about.
We don't want to put old Pokemon. We'll reskin them and put them in different.
Yeah.
It's we built these things because they've solved design problems. Now what?
Yeah.
That's the problem with Gen 5 is like you look at it and it looks like a knockoff game.
What actually got me was this is an aside and then we'll move on, I promise. So last week when we posted the episode for the Patreon Game Corner, it was the episode where myself and Mark were on it, and we played this one game. I think it's on the preview as well, where it's a very fun game. I really like this game where we are given a Pokemon, and then we have to go through each of the 6 stats and try to find another Pokemon that gets as close to that base stat as possible.
Okay.
And so we were given Timber. Mark and I. And
Did you just say Machop, Machop, Machop?
well, so
Machop?
you can't repeat Pokemon. But I got so mad because Mark went first, and Mark goes for attack. He goes, you know what? I'll just say Machop as like a joke because he's like, there's no way they're exactly the same, and then they were exactly the same. And
Oh
so-
my god!
And I was
Are
like,
you
this is the
kidding
problem.
me?
This is the problem, right? I'm like, now I'm mad. Now I'm mad. How are they exactly the
That's
same?
so funny.
So yeah, it was.
I mean, it's Typhlosion and Charizard though. Like that
No, it
happened
is-
then
it-
too. They have
it
the
is-
exact same base
but
stat
like
line.
at least they look different. I don't know, and
They do, and they function different.
and their move
different
pools are
types.
different, and they have different things going on.
But
and,
they're the same stats. Exactly the same stats.
yeah.
So, from there, we enter. Everyone's going to agree that Gen 5 is a transition point.
Absolutely.
One way or another, yes.
You can walk
Yes.
diagonal now. This is big.
Yes, I would
Changed my
call-
life.
This is where I can't do full gens either. For me,
Uh-huh.
I have to
Uh-huh.
split. There's
Okay.
a very key thing, and it is It's pretty much all of Gen 6 through Sword and Shield is where I would cut it.
Okay.
Okay.
And this is, we've made a franchise. Please help.
Fair.
So Gen 5 nearly blew their legs out from under them. The sequel did not help. They have to win back the crowd. So they rip the cord that says nostalgia.
No,
And
they
then
totally
Yes.
did. They totally they saw that they have the Charizard painting behind the glass. It says break glass
Shatter
in case
glass.
of emergency.
Open behind it, hit the button, look at it, hit it again.
that they did.
Then they
They
drop
did. They did it
Greninja.
twice.
Oh, I know. So Gen 6 comes out, and there are a couple of things that are more than just the nostalgia and the gimmicks. We will get to the gimmicks. They have now realized that they are an international brand with an international audience, and they cannot afford to do a Japanese forward marketing strategy.
Yep.
Because what they did with Gen 5 worked better in Japan by a lot. These kinds of generational reset franchises are big. Power Rangers, Precure, JoJo, if you want to go for a slightly older audience.
Oh.
You're correct.
This idea that you have a constantly resetting pool, Tokusatsu is built on that. And in
Yep.
Japan, they
I agree with
still sell a bunch of Gen 5 merch to
Mhm.
this day. It's one of
Yeah.
their larger lines in Japan. The problem is no one outside of Japan cared, no one
Yeah.
bought it, and they lost a lot of money. And so now they pivot hard to an international focus, to a nostalgia focus, because it's been long enough. It's been 15 to 20 years over this era, and they now can sell to college kids and young adults, which have a higher spending money, basically. So they pivot hard to nostalgia, and they pivot hard to international markets. The easiest way to see that is that in Gen 6, it was the first Pokemon game to release internationally on the same day.
Yes. I don't have to memorize all the Japanese names to play on Showdown and then relearn them when it comes out in English. The amount of times I accidentally call Ferrothorn Natare and Excadrill Doryuzu is more than it should be.
Yeah, I do remember seeing Pokemon names prior to Gen 6 in the Japanese. I also think it's really I don't know. I agree that this is when they finally bought in on the international need, or like the international focus, and like designing
Agreed.
for that. I do think they started a little bit in Gen 5 as part
Yeah.
of Seth's grand experiment, obviously with Unova being based on New York, poorly, but based on New York. I think that was interesting, but no, Gen 6 is definitely where they launch into this.
It became a
Man.
global brand.
Man, I'm gonna have to actually agree with Lynian on like the end of it being like Sword and Shield though. Because I
Okay.
think, well, I don't think the Switch is like its own era, because I think the Switch was a very bumpy start. That's why I was saying ish at the beginning, because there's this like space with like Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee and Sword and Shield where I'm just
Yeah.
like, man, this is rough. This is rough, buddy. And I please help. I don't know that I would say, but it's definitely, hey, we have a franchise and we're trying to make sure it doesn't flop and go away. Gen 6, I think, was very successful in doing that. Pokemon Go comes at the end of Gen 6 as well, which really, really helps.
That was huge. Hey, nostalgia, break glass. Here's Gen 1 in your backyard. Quick, get them.
Yeah, so I mean, X and Y are some of the better selling Pokemon games. I mean, Sun and Moon is just about as well.
They added gimmicks to each game, and each game was trying to do a big draw and would constantly do a big nostalgia appeal as well as their cool thing.
Yeah.
So they would have, here's Alakazam, but he has more spoons, and Charizard. We have 2 Charizard, 2 whole new Charizard.
Yes. And then we get regionals in 7, I think, as well. That helps a lot.
But they were all Kanto Pokemon, too.
Yeah, they did that intentionally. Intentionally.
And then they do Gen 8. Gigantamax was only for Gen 8 and Gen 1 Pokemon and Garbodor.
And Garbodor. And Garbodor.
No, it's the only one that doesn't fall
It's true.
categories.
It's true. I agree with that.
Each of these has a hard pivot to nostalgia. They follow their formulas pretty tightly. Sun and Moon doesn't, but has so much in common with the other stuff. With like, particularly like the stories were very childish. Is not the wrong word. They were simpler. They were less. I really like Gen 7, but they're very much like they're understandable. There's not a lot of ambiguity. Of like character motivation. They're pretty straightforward. The closest we get is like brainwashed and crazy in Gen 7. Other than that, people have very straightforward motivations. The gimmicks are front and center in all of the marketing, and while that's true of Gen 9's Terra, that is not the big thing people think about when they're talking about Scarlet and Violet's game design, where I think Mega Evolution is synonymous with Gen 6. Z moves are synonymous. Those were tied into the base game progression. These are the games that are the most defined by their gimmicks. Gen 8 adds raids, basically cribbing them from Pokemon Go, because they're trying to find ways to make people play together. They are trying to get people to play these games. This is like their most aggressive new player acquisition era, or even more boldly, like old player reacquisition era.
It's definitely
this is the most they ever do.
I think it's definitely an era where they're trying to go, okay, how do we keep the people we have? How do we actually grow something bigger? Pokemon Go does a lot of big lifting there, honestly. Mega Evolution does great at that too, as well. Sun and Moon, I think, also establishes. I mean, we also have a director shift at that time too, right? Because we go from Masuda to Omori. And I still don't believe that Omori doesn't understand how to make things not islands, but in game design. But that's a whole other thing.
But Sun and Moon are so good.
No, I think Sun and Moon, it makes so much sense though to do it the way he did.
I know.
Right? I think the way Sun and Moon are done is very well done. Pokemon games can be linear. That's fine. It makes sense. It's an RPG. If you play many RPGs, they're very linear. And I mean, you're not going out of sequence on like Final Fantasy VII, right? And so I'm not mad about that. People can be upset about it all they want. I don't really care. And I think it makes sense to have you have that sense of progression, because we don't have badges, right? In Gen 7, we have island totems or whatever. That's fine. I don't even know that I would claim those as like, I don't feel like those are like the big rocks. I feel like those are things to do, not like a big rock that defines like progression, if that makes sense. I don't know. That's kind of just a perception.
You're getting the Z crystals, and those are literally tracked on your where the badges would be on your save file. It's the Z crystals. Yeah,
but I think when you finish an island and you go, oh, I've completed all the tasks on this island, that feels like a bigger thing to me. And being able to move on to the next island, I think, is more important. So I'm a big proponent of just going like, the islands are like your badges to some extent. It kind of gave like Orange Island vibes in that way too.
A little bit,
yeah, because you just go, oh man, I have my 4 tasks to do. Like, let me go do my 4 tasks, and then go take on the Pokemon League. So it definitely gave some Orange Island vibes, which I really, really appreciated. I And then they did the same thing for Sword and Shield. Nobody noticed it, but they did it for Sword and Shield. At least at launch, I don't think anybody noticed it. Because I'm not entirely convinced that the wild area was there the entire time.
The wild area was there the whole time. It just sucked, and still does.
I don't know that it just feels very like not well thought out because
that's why I think it was there from the beginning, because it absolutely screams of we started with this, we tried to implement it, it didn't work, but we are 6 years into, we have like a 6-year development from the very beginning to the very end, and we figured out it sucked in year 4.5.
I don't know. I don't know how it was originally, because there are obviously trains to take you from area to area or island to island that they like input into Sword and Shield. So at least very early in development, I don't know that it existed, because I think
you see,
just like,
only the main character is allowed to use those trains, and we are not the main character.
Leon, that's true.
I genuinely think the trains were added because they weren't sure how they wanted to deal with fly, so they put that on the map because trains are a big thing in England.
Oh no, they are.
Yeah, we can have train stations, and they realized that really sucked because they have to physically put all of the train stations. We'll just do it at like a couple of spots and call it a day.
I mean, you do use them to like go to the DLC areas, which makes sense and stuff like that. But I find that's like the one that's weird to me. But I kind of agree with you actually that like Gen 8, like Sword and Shield, like kind of fits in that. I don't know about BDSP. BDSP is weird.
I forgot it existed.
I don't blame you.
When I was building my eras, I completely forgot to put it anywhere.
I think it's fine.
I think part of this one.
It's like in this weird gray area after Sword and Shield, where
yeah,
it starts to become apparent what they're trying to do. It doesn't really solidify for me until Legends Arceus, but about what they're trying to do. But yeah, I would say Sword and Shield. I would maybe end it at Sword and Shield, because I think once you get past it, they're starting to like. It's like
there's so much. I forgot how much BDSP interacts with, what they were doing with Legends Arceus.
It does so much. It's wild.
It like added whole areas and replaced things. So yeah,
it didn't add areas. It was, I don't know, like the whole concept.
No, it did, because it had Ravana's Park, which wasn't there.
Oh, you meant like that? Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And then the underground had the other stuff.
Yeah, no, they did everything to make sure that you could complete the original 493 national decks between Shining Diamond, Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. That's how the names work.
Yeah.
Okay. But we went on long enough. I want Seth to talk about his perception.
Because he disagrees with us.
The smile tells me he disagrees.
I don't entirely disagree. What I have dubbed this era, and I would say, first off, I'm going to make Joe Merrick angry by saying I did not include in any consideration in this era the not actually what we would call a mainline game. I did not include Let's Go. I did not include Legends Arceus. I did not include BDSP, and I did not include ZA in my defining of eras. Those are bubbles beside the era. Those are branches.
I would only
the path.
I only disagree. I don't like Joe's definition.
I don't like Joe's definition. If I was to ask, I know what Pokemon says. I know Pokemon says this is a mainline game. If I was to ask a normal person on the street, what is a normal Pokemon game to you? Is ZA a normal Pokemon game? They would say no.
There's a difference between a normal game and a mainline game.
Is
which
Legends
I think is
Arceus?
a different
No,
definition.
exactly. There's a difference between normal game. I'm grouping eras by the normal game. You pick a starter, you go to these, you get the badges, all that kind of crap. That's a normal Pokemon game.
Slight pushback. At least in the modern era, my definition of mainline Pokemon game is: can I connect it to Pokemon Home, and is there two-way transfer?
Pokemon Go's a mainline game? Interesting.
Anyway, there's two-way transfer, and there's two-way transfer. You have to be able to transfer into Pokemon.
I started my retort before you finished your sentence. So
yeah.
Also, rather notably, I would define it as: can they introduce a new Pokemon into it?
Yeah,
that is followed out. Because ZA
Pokemon Go's a mainline game. Interesting.
Let's not talk about Meltan. Meltan's dumb.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say a normal Pokemon game. Like, I think we as fans can agree on what a normal Pokemon game is.
I do think that. I think you're wrong.
Yeah, sure. And I'm going to say that's like a side era. But like
sure.
The eras start with the normal Pokemon game.
Oh, I think I think generations always start with a normal by your
Generations
definition,
and
Pokemon game.
eras, like those start and end
Yes.
at the Pokemon game.
I think-
at least start at the normal Pokemon
I think
game.
a
So with
new large batch of Pokemon is
Yeah.
always introduced in a normal Pokemon game.
with that mentality, I go forward and say that this next era I would put from Generation 6 to breaching containment at the end of Generation 8. So from XY to kind of Sword and Shield. So what I call this era is the formulaic archipelago.
That's the
Where-
correct answer. You are correct. Outside of Gen 6, I guess. Gen 6 is
Generation 6 is the start. Here is our land.
Oh, never
Here
mind,
is
you're
our
right.
gimmick. Here is our thing. This is now this area. Then the next generation acts like this didn't happen. And here is our thing. Here is
They
our
did
gimmick.
make
Here is our
islands.
area.
in Gen 6.
The generation is an island. Each
Well-
generation from 6 to 8 is its own island.
Oh, I meant in like how the gameplay loop works, where it's just like you
Mhm.
can only go to this area right now,
Yeah.
and then you can only go to this area right now. They did do that,
And
so
it's
how have I
for
not seen
me,
that?
Generation 8 is them starting the experimentation again and also trying to keep up with other modern type of games and realizing that Pokemon needs to kind of be something else. And so it's starting that itch to grand experiment again. And they're like, no, we can't do it again. We can't do it to ourselves one more time. We must keep it to a formula. Make the grand area suck. And
I do
when-
think yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
it's this cage. It's this cage around Generation 8 that is just shaking, and some of the bars are starting to pop off. And it's when they go from that to Legends Arceus, which lets them really do a grand experiment side to the actual what I would call normal game line,
Mhm.
and going into Generation 9, which is, in my mind, a whole new era, a whole new kind of feel.
I think we're
to a
all on the
Pokemon
same
game.
page with that. Yeah.
It was Generation 8 that broke containment from a formulaic standpoint.
I think
I think it's more complicated than that, but yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's always
It's
going to be
kind of-
more complicated.
because a lot of that experimentation is happening in games that you're not looping into this.
Right, exactly.
Which is why I think that you can draw the line, which is why I would say Swish ends it so distinctly. Because
Yes,
after this, you get them going, okay, we've run this into the ground.
yes.
Mhm.
I
We
think
need to do something new.
I think that Gen 8, even the devs had to know that Gen 8 was creatively bankrupt, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, like we've said every time, like we say once a month on this show, you are not the main character in Sword and Shield. And that
Yes.
bothers me to no end. It
I
bothers all of
agree
us
with
to
you.
no end.
I agree with you.
Like, we are, how
not
do you
being
make a
main
game where you're not the
character?
person?
I want to see the fun part at least.
Why
right,
couldn't
like-
okay, I still don't
If you
understand
go off about
This Berserker.
specifically,
that berserker.
yeah, exactly.
That berserker.
The scene where you go out and he's already beaten the berserker. You don't even get to watch the fight.
Don't worry,
Just let me
child.
watch.
I have solved the problem with my sponsored by
We
whatever.
fixed this so easily by literally just like having you go into the battle, but Leon's Charizard is just
you
so
just
much
help.
better than yours, and it one shots it before you can
Easy.
do anything, right? And then you're just like, wow, that guy's really cool, and then it just builds up the importance of, oh man, he lost. Uh-oh, this is gonna be hard.
We can do a script. That's another episode.
Yeah.
Gen 8 script doctor.
Right.
Oh, honestly, I'm not. Let's fix this game. That's a video. That's not even a podcast. That's a video.
That's a whole thing.
We're
That's a
sitting there going
podcast,
through.
That's a
Tune in
video,
Thursday.
And, we can even do like where we rewrite it and then we do hard mode where we're not allowed to add any new cutscenes.
Mm.
Well, that's easy. There's already too many. There's already.
Yeah.
So
If I wanted to watch a video, I would go play that one where you're the superhero newscast or
Oh, yeah, I know what you're
deployment.
talking about.
What is it?
Dispatch?
Dispatch? Yeah. If I wanted to watch a movie that is calling itself a game, I'll go play Dispatch.
it was great.
This is a whole genre.
Also, if you're not an adult, do not play Dispatch.
Yeah. No.
You will
I
find
haven't
out
even.
why
I haven't-
very
yeah. But yeah, that's how I would group that era. And I'm purposefully, I'm very, very purposefully not including Arceus, BDSP, because I think the fact that those exist allows them to not do the Generation 5 mistake again and feel like they have to do and weave in the experiments into the mainline game and change what it is, they can do that in a side game that does narratively in the Pokemon world have you kind of go outside a little bit and then come back in. And it lets them do that without messing up the line.
I see how you're getting there. I think that
You're just wrong.
Yeah. So you have, I think Legends Arceus was a great soft test for this, because if it failed, it could have just been a side project that they never really needed.
Whatever.
But the fact that it worked, and then they did Gen 9, which does not play like the previous Pokemon games.
No.
The open world nature of it fundamentally warps so much of that game design. And unlike with Gen 8's light touches of it, it actually works to the game's benefit.
Yep.
Yes.
I agree with all of this.
I call it Sigh of the Wild.
Gen 9 is so frustrating to me, because I will go out and defend it as probably the best designed Pokemon game.
Yeah.
And it performs so poorly and has some of the most wonky decision making on a larger
level progression,
not on the game design level, on the like performance and experience level. Like the programming and the execution is not very good, but the game design is immaculate.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And the characters are great.
No,
like I love the characters in Gen 9. It feels like that's when they really, really took off and, one, made you the main character. Two, like made it so you remember who these players are. Like I know Leon.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was the redhead professor lady who kind of had a soft crush on Leon. Like the other characters, there's the old grandma. Like, but I can name Penny. I can name Nimona. I can name Arvin and his dog problems.
That's because you played Arvin too many times in the TCG. That's the one.
Well, that might also be an effect. But like they did a really good job in 9, story wise, narrative wise, and everything. That it feels like they forgot to do the programming for the game, almost to the point that it feels antagonistic. But yeah.
Well, yeah. There's definitely the fault that when you play or you play Scarlet and Violet on a Switch 2 and you go, oh wow, this is a different game.
This is how it should have felt.
Here's the thing. It is better. It is a lot better. Yeah. It doesn't fix a lot of the visual jank either.
No, there's definitely still visual issues and stuff like that. I think they to kind of jump off Lynian and to tell Seth that I think it's important that other games are also recognized. But yeah. I think that Legends Arceus being like this really, like, that's a grand experiment. You want to talk about grand experiments? That was a grand experiment.
Yes.
I think they did a lot of things to kind of cushion the fall in case there was blowout. I think a very big thing that I like to talk a lot about on this show, and I don't see a lot of people in the Pokemon community talk about, but I think the choice of putting BDSP right next to it was a great choice, not just from a perspective of, oh, if this bombs, at least BDSP
it's a marketing tactic,
but also like, hey, this came out, now I remember all of these things that are important to this past region that we went to. I get a little concerned now that they just decided to like just have Legends games, I guess, forever, and not pair it like that, because very recently even, I think this was also used to a great effect that people did recognize, at least in the Pokemon community on like Twitter and stuff I saw, that there was discussion around when Pokopia released. It released a couple weeks after Fire Red Leaf Green dropped on the virtual console, or not virtual console, but on Switch.
Yep.
And
hey, remember this?
A lot of people were drawing connections. They were drawing connections immediately because you had one game, the original game with that region in it, and you let them revisit it right afterwards.
Kanto's back in your mind, so you're like, wait a minute, this is Pallet Town.
And I think that works to their advantage. And it's not that I don't feel the same way as I do about when Game Freak tries to do the hard resets, right? Like Lynian was saying, like trying to make it a Super Sentai series every generation, where you just cut your ties and move on. I do think that there's a little bit of a disconnect. I don't know that they realize the value there entirely. And
in the marketing world, this is called priming.
Yeah, I know it is.
We'll see if they the thing about like Z to A, it's hard not to call it a core Pokemon game given what it did to Pokemon's core battling
System,
software, their marketing right now is, hey, here's all the megas from the new thing are back. Like, this is our big mega push. Like, it is being marketed in the same way that they push new Pokemon going
Agreed.
and the VGC.
No, they absolutely are, and
ZA is a weird one for things.
I think modern
And I think
Pokemon
that's
is just
gonna be
weird,
more
which is probably the bigger point, right? Because I
I
could
think
almost
that's a thing.
I could almost do something similar to what you were saying earlier, Seth. Like, I could put Scarlet and Violet almost in a box, right, and say this is its own generation.
Yeah.
This is its own era.
Yeah,
Because I think post
the
that
fact
even
that eras
is
are harder
weird.
to define. Yeah,
They're doing it on purpose, which I kind
Yeah.
of like. The only thing I don't like is that if a Pokemon goes to ZA, it can't go anywhere else right now. But that's a whole other thing.
there's a reason for that, and
And it's going to change.
it will be fixed immediately in WeWa. Like, it's because that's the next era in their mind is ZA and beyond. Whether it's for coding reasons, whether it's for
I think it's a language issue or something like that.
I think it's a language coding issue, and once the code has been altered to be ZA, it's no longer like
you can't go to
I'll call it
Swish.
physically
you can't
backward compatible.
Yeah, you can't
The
send that
games don't know
phalanx
how to
Swish.
handle that. Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
I think
Xpinda.
the big difference between like the previous era and what is happening now is, if you had asked me before Gen 8 came out, what do you think the next Pokemon game is going to be? I would have said basically Gen 8. And if you'd asked me after Gen 8, what do you think Gen 9 is going to be? I would have not given you anything remotely similar to what we got in Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah.
And if you'd asked me,
Fair,
what is
yeah.
the next game? I don't know what Winds and Waves is going to look like.
we have no
which is
clue,
great.
and that's
I
kind
love
of
this.
weird. It's
No.
kind of refreshing.
I do like that it does feel like they're on a trajectory now, right? Like they're on a trajectory in an upward direction, and it's not just, hey, we've got this conveyor belt that is the Pokemon machine, and we shove in new designs and you spit out a Pokemon game.
You see that criticism all the time where people are like, Pokemon just making the same game for 20 years. I'm like, you have not been paying attention for the past 5.
Yeah,
If you compared,
None of these play remotely similarly to each other.
if you were to compare Gen 2 to anything that came out since I would even say 2020 or 2019, so we include Sword and Shield in that. If you were to compare Gen 2 or even Gen 3 to any of those, these are different games. These are
I
not
would
the
say
same.
like, 3 and 8 are fairly similar, but after that, what?
3 and 8, I could say you get a lot of beats,
Like,
right?
Let's go. Or,
I almost want to put 9 into, like, depending on how 10 goes, depending on how Winds and Waves feels. If we revisit this in a year and a half after we've played Winds and Waves for a bit, I'm more than likely going to put 9 into a similar category as 5, where it is a very hard
It's
for
a
me
turning
anyway,
point.
and how
It's a
I'm thinking.
turning
It's a transition stone. It neither fits in with the previous section nor the next.
we just don't know.
We don't know.
what it'll be.
I think
That's
from
my guess, though.
from like a holistic franchise point of view, I think that you're probably correct, Seth. From like a timing, if I include things that aren't just
Time
your
will
normal
tell.
if I don't include just your normal Pokemon games, right? And I think
Right.
because Gen 9 is kind of where I believe the full picture of what Pokemon's trying to do in this modern era is coming to fruition, which again, I think if the communication would have been better from Game Freak or the Pokemon Company when they announced Exit, that something like this was the plan. Granted, they might not even known this was the plan.
I tried to not even think of that when I was doing this because I'd have gotten too mad.
But if they would have said something like that, I think we would have gotten there. But I think the full plan comes to fruition, honestly, in the past year and a half or so, where we get ZA, we get champions, and we kind of see this path forward where Pokemon games, one, they're no longer like the main battling gimmick, so it gives you a lot of free design space. Like when you were mentioning earlier, oh man, Mega Evolution coming to WeWa or whatever, because they want to go ooh ah, and I think that
Nostalgia bait at this point.
well, I don't see why you couldn't do that now, right? Because I can see from a
It's in the
mechanical
TCG again. It's everywhere. It'll be around for years now.
I can see from a mechanicals perspective, like not wanting to do that because you don't want to mess up your competitive scene or whatever.
Yeah.
But
I mean, your
now it's not there.
Seen as champions.
And now it's not
already
there.
The thing is, you can turn it off at any point, but I also think
Yeah.
that for so many reasons, I think they, at the very least, they think they need a new
absolutely.
every generation.
They do.
I didn't. Ooh. I didn't even factor in the champions thing until just now. Like the
What?
fact that I think Gen 10 is going to be even a bigger era
It's gonna be a
shift
shift.
than
It's
we've
gonna be a
experienced.
shift.
Because Pokemon games up until this point have had to be built in such a way that there's a battling scene that is ultimately, minus the first couple gens, that is the tournament thing. Champions now is where that lives. We could see battle systems like ZA in a quote unquote normal game because it doesn't have to reflect what the tournament scene is, because that's in Champions and that lives separate from the game now.
The thing is, I think that may happen, but not for a first launch, because people like how Pokemon plays and it's low
Is
impact.
it a first launch?
Well, here's the thing. Look at how they marketed ZA as like the big battling game, and they did a slightly older demographic. It's because 5-year-olds have bad reflexes.
Yeah.
Yep. Bad hand-eye coordination.
And turn-based games remove that from the equation.
Yeah, I've had this.
I know this. I'm terrible at it. And I think they're going to continue that because it's so easy to get kids. All they have to do is know how to read.
Right. Yeah. It's just something I forgot to factor in, is that the lack of a requirement for the tournament to take place on the game, and now it lives in an entirely separate world. That could have a factor that we aren't even able to consider here. So that's exciting.
I've had this conversation a lot on streams.
I'm sure, yeah. I've seen a couple.
Yeah, people definitely get spooked about this idea that it's not going to be like Pokemon's going to make a big jump. And I'm definitely in Lynian's camp, and for very similar reasons, but also not just including that. Obviously, Pokemon wants champions to like be the way it goes competitively moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that you can't keep it as a big thing, as a big bedrock of Pokemon going forward, if you don't have that style of gameplay in the mainline Pokemon games, right?
Yeah.
You need it to onboard, right? We're not just going to have Wolf Glick being the only person playing this game for the next 40 years, right? No. You want to have new blood, new people. Actually, there is a new people. I was watching the Indianapolis stream because I've been doing a lot more VGC, obviously, lately. And I got hit right in the heart, and I felt stabbed because they were going around asking different players that were in the top cut, like, what's your favorite Pokemon and why? And one of the players who made the top cut, I forget his name off the top of my head, but he made top cut, and he goes, oh, one of my favorite Pokemons to play with is Superior, because of the contrary ability, and it's the fully evolved form of Snivy, which was my first Pokemon. And I was like, my bones are all creaking. But
also very cute, because it's like,
But
the fact that you could bring that Snivy, the fact that you could bring now that Snivy that you got, that is the Pokemon that you picked.
That's
and
cool,
that could be the thing that you are playing at this regional tournament
cool?
years later. That is the same Pokemon.
Haha, look, Superior, kill it.
Yeah, but
but still, like, that's a whole other thing too.
Yeah, no, but
like, wild.
But I believe that we're still going to have pretty traditional gameplay. If anything changes really drastically, I think it might be you might get like some form of the capture mechanics that exist in the Legends games.
Yeah,
you might find that move over, because honestly,
or the
that's
battle
like,
gimmick being way too weird. Like, we don't know.
Yeah, well, yeah, I just think it's going to be
want
something.
That to move into Champions is the thing.
Yeah, they're going to want the battle gimmick to do that.
Advertise their new expensive thing where you pay $70 plus buy a Switch 2 in Champions.
It is.
So
it is also
your first hit free.
It's also sneaky. They'll do something sneaky, right? Because like they did it. People talk about it and people are aware of it, but I mean, one of the best megas in the format right now is Mega Floette, and you can't recruit Mega Floette in Pokemon Champions.
Funny. How weird.
It's like thought? Champions is the free accessory to a franchise and not the game itself.
Yeah, whenever anybody, I don't feel bad for people when they say this. No. This is just a new version of the conversation.
The more
that we've been having
Pokemon,
for a while,
the less Pokemon you want to play.
Yeah. Well, it's just the same conversation I feel like we've been having for the past forever, because people will go.
I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
I'm tired, Grandpa.
Well, I remember.
What do you mean I have to buy a video game to play it competitively?
I don't know how much you guys have ever followed VGC, but I followed VGC forever. And I remember there was one format where Follow Me Electabuzz was very good. Now, how do you get Follow Me Electabuzz in Gen 5 so you can hold Eviolite? Let me answer that question. You have to play Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness.
There it is,
And the move they all the Pokemon in those games got special moves they could not learn otherwise after you purified them. So nobody complained back then that you had to go get Follow Me
Soft-boiled
Electabuzz.
Clefable.
Same
Heal
thing.
Bell Dragonite. I
Here's the
know this
thing.
story.
I'll die on this hill. I'm glad they've been purging move pools. And
Yes,
Oh no,
thank God.
culling move pools.
No, it's good. They should do that. They should have been doing it earlier.
Culling move pools.
I know why they didn't, but it's good.
No,
I
this
love
is
it. I love it.
this. You are absolutely correct, Lynian. I will never disagree with you on this one.
Seismic Toss Mega Kangaskhan in this economy. Ugh.
Look,
I agree with you 100%.
was briefly worried before I remembered how champions worked. Because do you know when the last time Raichu got Zap Cannon was? Gen
Generation
2.
2.
Yeah.
By the way, Mega Raichu Y is actually as fun as I thought it would be. It turns out
it's
clicking
fun.
Zap Cannon is hilarious.
It's fun.
It turns out that's a good strat.
Yeah.
Incredible.
But like it's only 120 base power. It turns out Guaranteed Para is
Very
very
good.
fun.
Nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah.
Oh, you killed my Raichu? Yeah, you're still dead, buddy.
Well, I'm gonna cut us off mostly because I think
Yeah.
we've hit
I think we
the
discussed
eras.
it.
We've
Excited
discussed
for
it.
winds and waves.
And
Let's
we
see
would
what
love to know
happens.
what everybody thinks the
Tell us
actual
why we're
eras are.
wrong.
Tell us why we're wrong, and you think Sword and Shield was a good game. And
If you say that you think Gen 5 is the end of classic Pokemon, we will mock you.
please,
I
no,
will
no,
hear
I would love
you,
to. I would
but
love
I
to
will
hear
judge you.
I would love to hear an actual argument for it if somebody.
What if he's a listener?
Like-
What if they're a listener? What if like, oh man, they found my Reddit post and they badmouthed me the whole time. I gotta go justify my opinion. Well, we look forward to your
Send
email,
us
dear
emails.
listener.
dearly. But yeah, with that, I'm gonna kick us on over to our Poke Quiz, but we're gonna quiz your co-host on their insane Pokemon knowledge.
Oh hi, and welcome to the Poke Quiz, the part of the show where we quiz our co-hosts on their insane Pokemon knowledge. I'm Mark from the Dunsparce gang, here to explain the rules. Our fabulous co-hosts will work as a team to answer 5 Pokemon-themed trivia questions that fans have submitted on the Discord server. Each question is worth 1 point, with Pokedex and multiple answer questions worth more, for a total of 7 points. The host can use a free hint at any time. If they get all the answers correct and do not use the hint, they can cash it in for an 8th point.
Thank you for that introduction, Mark from the Dunsparce gang, who I battled against in that game corner last week.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he won, but I think it was because the executive producer, who is also myself, changed the rules at the last second. But,
Backfire.
well,
I think I would post that as an ad for the Patreon, and then you just tell everyone how it ends anyway.
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know what happened.
Maybe he's wrong.
Maybe
Tune
I'm
in,
wrong. I don't
find out.
remember. You trust me to know things? Okay. But welcome to the Poke Quiz. It is time to Poke Quiz. Professor Oak would like to remind you, you can submit your questions at our Discord at puclpodcast.com. We're going to get into it. Our first question is your general trivia question, as always. And this week, it's going to come to you from Chairman Charjabug. In Pokemon Emerald, having a Pokemon with a certain ability in the first place of your party, this is very long, will make trainers registered in the Pokénav's match call function call the player more often. Which ability is it?
Do you know
What?
this one, Seth? Because I do.
I know the answer.
I
too,
have
but-
no clue.
Lightning
What?
Oh, really? Lightning Rod is correct. Yeah, that is the answer. Lightning Rod. Yeah, not only does it help make Electric-type Pokemon show up more often, it also gets people to call you.
I am learning so much this week.
I'm listening and I'm learning.
Old Nog, new trick. That's what we're doing right now.
Do you know why I remember that? Because I don't. He said that, and my brain went, Lightning Rod. I was like, when did I learn that?
Why is that filed?
I
Why is that filed
there.
here?
I might have gotten there because it's like cell phone tower.
Yeah, like there's some logic to it, but my brain was like, no, it's this. I'm like,
Oh, of course, it's lightning rod. Oh.
All right, we've got another trivia question for you guys. Another general trivia question. This one from Trainer Shiv. Which Pokemon game was the first to introduce the ability to respawn legendary Pokemon if they were accidentally knocked out by the player? So if you were to battle your favorite legendary.
I'm pretty sure this is Gen 5.
I would agree because I feel like something respawn Victini comes to mind, but yeah.
I think it was the Kyurem and them.
That makes sense, yeah.
It's either 5 or 6 because I know it wasn't a thing in 4.
Yeah. I'm fine. I'm good with 5. I like that.
Yeah, I'll say 5.
5 is actually unfortunately incorrect. The answer is Pokemon Platinum. It showed up in
Really?
Platinum for like Giratina. And it also happened with the other 2 legendaries because you catch Giratina as part of the story, obviously, but then you get a chance to battle both Dialga and Palkia separately in Pokemon Platinum. And if you knock them out, you were able to go catch them again.
I knew that was a thing in Gen 5, but I guess I didn't remember. I guess I only remember Diamond and Pearl.
Yeah, in Diamond and Pearl, it did not happen, but in Platinum, it started happening.
Yeah, exactly. Like I remember knocking out and never.
And it would have happened. It also, I believe, happened in Heart Gold, Soul Silver.
I think we got thrown by what was the first game, and you and I both immediately thought what was the first generation.
Yeah.
So
well, I thought
that threw us.
I didn't think it'd be mid-gen.
Mid-gen is very weird. I actually, when I read this and I looked at it, I was like, "Is this actually true?"
What?
Because that's like mid-gen. I was just like, so I did double check. It is correct.
All right. Heck yeah.
Okay.
All right. Their next question is your Pokedex entry, as always. And this one comes from Grumpy Gumshoes. So this is your first entry, and it comes from Pokemon Sun.
Okay, we've got.
It has strong regenerative capabilities. Even if parts of it are bitten off by a fish Pokemon, my bad, it will return to normal within a few hours. I actually added that extra comma accidentally. So.
Do you have something, Seth? You're holding up your hand like you're either about to say something.
No, I'm resting my hand on the headphone because I'm thinking.
You're just standing here like oh.
Yeah, it looks like I have my hand up.
Raise
Yeah.
your
Raise your hand, or you are just like a saint in an old painting.
Oh, that's more like this.
Whatever.
Like it's like essentially the Italian thing. It's a whole thing.
What's the matter for you?
Yeah.
Last supper.
Sorry, Wims.
I know too much about this. It's okay.
I stand by one time she said, "Why can you do an Italian accent better than I can?" And I felt so honored by that.
Okay, but anyway, which Pokemon is this that it has strong regenerative capabilities? Even if parts are bitten off by a fish Pokemon, it will return to normal within a few hours.
So the Starmie line comes to mind, but I don't remember if they're in Sun.
They are.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
you can get
that comes to mind.
Beach.
Can
you get
what other?
Or is it only Ultra?
And that was pre-Dexit, so things had abilities to be in the game.
No. Gen 6, Gen 7 is the first gen where returning Pokemon have no Dex entries.
Oh, no Dex entries, but I mean, like, it could be in the game is what I'm kind of thinking. But it's from Sun, so yeah, regardless, we're saying the same thing.
It's either Staryu or it's Slowpoke in my thoughts here.
I think
it's probably Starmie.
I think it's Starmie more than Slowpoke, if that's even correct. So I'm good with locking that one in and seeing.
You're gonna take Starmie?
Let's say Starmie.
Starmie. All right, Starmie. This second entry is from Pokemon Legends Arceus. And so it's not Starmie. Starmie's not in that game.
No, it's not. I'm thinking.
Eats
and from sentence one.
The entry from Pokemon Legends Arceus says, eats beach sand for nourishment.
Aye.
Should one of these Pokemon encounter another of a different color, a fierce battle will inevitably ensue.
That's right.
Shellos
racism.
There's your short for you there.
Thanks, guys.
There it
is. That is a YouTube short. They're coming back this week now.
Me sadly going, yeah, Shellos racism.
Both of us. Aha.
Aha. All right. So we're going to go with Shellos?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
I'll accept that as Gastrodon, but close enough.
Yeah.
Sure.
Shellos racism. How both of us said it immediately.
Yes.
It's the evolved form. They've got the hood.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that gives you guys are 2 for 3. Your next question is your multiple answer question. There are 4 answers to this question.
All right.
This is a very complicated question. I remember the answers today, which means that it's not that hard once you get the answers, at least.
It's not that hard if you read the answers before you say the question.
No, usually I forget them even before we do it.
Thatch.
But yes.
I'm going to change the rules on you mid-game.
To lose.
I will give you guys a total of 3 points for this question. 1 for one answer, 2 for 2 answers, 3 for all 4. Right, here we go. The question comes to you from Ductillery.
Good
Love
name.
It's a good
Love
name.
it.
Hey, listen. There are 4 Pokemon who are fairies in 3 different ways. They are fairy type, in the fairy egg group, and are the fairy Pokemon class as designated by their Pokemon category. Who are they?
The dog. The hideous dog. 1.
Snubble.
Well,
Snubble. Thank you.
Snubble.
You
We
should
can.
lock it in, I imagine.
That is correct. Yeah, Snubble is the first answer. That is correct.
A
Yes.
fairy?
Yeah. There are Clefairy.
Not
Lock that in.
I'm asking Seth. Clefairy?
Yeah, I'm good for locking that one in.
Clefairy is also correct. That is 2. Yeah, remember it's Pokemon.
Yeah, Pokemon, not the lines. Is that correct?
Yes, Pokemon, not the lines.
Thought so. Okay.
Granbull's still the fairy Pokemon?
I think it
strikes-
might be, but it could be something else in category.
Do you want to say Clefable? Because I think that's less likely to have changed.
Yes.
Clefable is correct. That is 3. You have one more answer
Okay.
that you require.
Not Cleffa, because Cleffa is in no egg groups.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's also, I think, like a different category. I think it's like a star or something.
Star Pokemon.
mm,
Do you want to try Granbull just for a strike?
We've already gotten one question wrong, so we could try it. I feel like it's like the big ugly toothed dog category, but it might still be the fairy, so I'm good with trying it.
Yeah, because I imagine we have how many strikes?
You have 3 strikes and then you're out.
Yeah, we'll throw it out.
YOLO.
Granbull.
Granbull is correct. That is the
Okay.
answer. That's all 4. You got 3 points. For everybody at home. Everybody at home, the answers are Clefairy, Clefable, Snubble, and Granbull.
I would never have remembered Snubble. Thank you.
I don't know why that's stuck in my head, but
yeah,
it is.
It's why it had to. It was why it had to be changed to fairy type.
The fairy type, yeah.
Fairy Pokemon, they have to make it fairy.
Yeah.
And why would they in the first place? Like what?
Just like Blastoise,
What a
the shellfish
hideous Pokemon. What a horrible Pokemon.
I already hate pugs. I'm gonna go on the record. I hate the dog breed. Granbull,
I'm not a dog guy. Full stop.
I'm glad
Yeah.
those Pokemon are weak to steel, so I know they would die if I hit them with my car.
Oh my gosh. All right,
Oh
moving
my
on.
God.
The last question is your base stat question, as always. This comes to you from Amo11. All right, you guys are 5 for 5. Yeah, you're 5 for.
We got 1
4.
wrong, but we
Yeah.
got all 3 points on the
Oh.
multi.
So I gave you 3. Yeah, you're at 5. You're at 5. What Pokemon with the Mold Breaker ability has the highest attack stat? I already forgot the answer, so it's okay. Oh, never mind.
It has to be exactly Mold Breaker, I imagine.
It has to be the Mold Breaker ability. Yes.
Is there
the
anything
exact-
higher than 147?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, because that's Rampardos, correct?
No, Rampardos is higher. That's 164. So Rampardos is better. Because I was thinking Haxorus is at 147.
Yeah, Haxorus is 147. You're right.
No, but Rampardos is higher. It's like 106. It's between 150 and 100. I think it's 164.
Yeah. Does anything get
if we're hitting
Mold Breaker on?
Rampardos, nothing's higher because then we're getting into Mega Mewtwo.
Yeah.
Which has Unnerve.
Yeah.
We're hitting Skill Link.
Wait, does
Mega
Mega Mewtwo
Draw.
have Unnerve?
It doesn't have Mold Breaker.
What does Mega X have? Mega Y has Insomnia. Okay, so yeah, it's Unnerve on the other one.
Something. I knew it wasn't relevant is the thing.
Yeah.
It's not Mold Breaker because that would see use.
Yeah.
In ways that it doesn't. And anything above that's like Deoxys, which has pressure. Cortana, which has Beast Boost.
Yeah.
And then some megas that all don't have Mold Breaker.
None of them have Mold Breaker when they actually mega. Mawile. Huge power Tinkaton with also Mold Breaker.
Wait, did I give it Mold Breaker in PTU?
No, but I don't remember if it has it on its list
Anyway,
in PTU, but it does in the game.
That's something no one cares about.
Well, I was gonna say I need an answer, but you guys can see the timer, so I can't.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say so I can't even think anything higher.
We're locking in Rampardos.
Yeah.
Rampardos is correct. Rampardos with a 165. Then there's Mecha Gyarados, actually, with 155.
I forgot that. Mold Breaker.
And then Haxorus with 147. And Excadrill with 135.
Very nice, very nice.
That gives you guys 6 points today.
Come on, Dinosaur Man. You forgot one of them? How could you?
Wait, what did I forget? I don't know.
No, I'm making fun of Lynian, the Dinosaur Man, for forgetting about Rampardos.
I got his base attack stat 1 point off.
Yeah.
Also, I forgot that he had Mold Breaker, but that's beside the point.
That's a whole other thing. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You guys got 6 points today, though. That might change things. Not actually at all.
I want to turn Pokemon into dinosaurs.
I might be the lead by 10 points now.
Yeah, it turns out that it doesn't matter because both of you were already on the top anyway. So
yeah, like
currently
we're just running away with it from
you're
all
just
the people
you're just like look at me from my castle. In first place,
the weather back there, other contestants.
In first place, we have Lynian with 62 points. In second place, we got Seth Vilo with 53 points. In third place, we've got Yushiro with 46. In fourth, Shark Finnegan with 44. In fifth, Claude9 with 42. R Sigma's in sixth with 36. Seventh place, Whimsicott with 31. Bocephus is in eighth with 23. Sublime is in ninth with 7. And Mark is in fifth with 10. With that, whoever gets in the top 4 by the end of November gets to go fight in the Tournament of Champions where they duke it out for a $5 or no, not 5. Oh my gosh. $25 gift card to their local grocery store. I don't know which ones. Safeway. We can go Safeway.
Spaghetti Warehouse.
Spaghetti Warehouse.
All right, Ohio.
It's time to get help.
But with that,
we're a man of very particular tastes.
We're gonna kick it on over to our Poké Opinion. Welcome to the Poké Opinion. The Poké Opinion is the part of the show where you can leave us an opinion in our Discord server, and we will try to answer and have a good time. These are sillier questions, a little bit lighter hearted. And we're going to end the show here today, just for everybody's awareness, just because the show's running long, and we want to get to those mailbags and give them the time they deserve next week. So with that, we're going to get into it. Our Poké Opinion this week also comes from Chairman Chargebug of Trivia fame. What is the best cave/cavern in Pokemon? And apparently people have answers. I mean, I have an answer too, actually, strangely enough, but I'll let you guys go first.
Seth?
You go first, Lynian. You go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say Chargestone Cave is the correct answer.
Is that just the answer? Okay, we all were going to say that, because that's like the best one. Okay.
I was letting you go because I had backups, but no.
I don't have backups, okay? Chargestone Cave is the right answer.
Though, if all three of us independently came to the idea of Chargestone Cave, notably not Chargestone Cavern, the one in Scarlet Violet.
Yeah, it's a callback.
It's a callback. But Chargestone Cave is like the coolest one, objectively. Like, come on, y'all.
No, you're right.
It looks cool.
There's the one in
are not difficult, but they're neat. And every time I play through the game, I pick up a team member. Every single Pokemon in that cave slaps.
Ferroseed, Galvantula, Tynamo, like
Clink.
They're good.
Clink as well.
Clink.
Like this is the point in like if I Nuzlocke Black and White, that is the most exciting. Because that's
you're good with anything you find.
Like anything you find here is probably good, with the exception of Boldore. And you're just like
What's
very excited.
Cavern?
You can also get Drillbur here if you missed it earlier too.
Oh my God, there's so many things in the cavern too.
Yeah, and there's items.
I was just curious about like
Black 2 and White 2 also add like Nose Pass instead of in the Boldore slot, which is really nice.
One notable thing that you can get in Chargestone Cavern is once you have the upgrade, you can pick up Chespin. Yeah, and that's where
Mm.
I shiny hunted my shiny.
Oh, and
my
Scarlet
shiny
Violet?
chest and,
Nice.
For
yeah,
Scarlet
in the
Violet.
Treasure Cavern.
Oh yeah.
Rotom
And
also lives here.
The notable mention for caves that isn't the best one, which is this one, is I forget its name, which is the reason I didn't mention it. How it's literally called Reflection Cave. There's this cave in Kalos called Reflection Cave, and there's a bunch of mirrors, and I think it's really cute because sometimes they'll even let trainers encounter you if you're like in the reflection that they can see.
yeah, they'll turn it like they're looking in the mirror, and if you come behind
and they'll
them,
turn around and they'll see you and just come and get you.
Mm.
Yeah,
They'll
I
have
thought
an
that was
exclamation point, then turn around.
That's kind of cool.
which I think is a cute detail, and I think Reflecting Cave is worthwhile of a notable mention as a result.
What does
just
Terminus
because
Cave look like? I remember
Terminus
I
Cave-
liked that one, but it's
that one's
boring.
okay. Terminus Cave's okay.
I'm just
I really
biased because I like Zygarde so much.
I like
know
that. I like
this.
that. There's enough discussion for us to have longer than a 30-second conversation about caves. And
Right.
Pokemon, though. Just throwing this out
There's
there.
also a waterfall cave in Hoenn, which I think has some of the best sprite work in Gen
you're talking
3.
about Meteor Falls.
Meteor Falls, rather. Yeah.
Yeah.
Meteor Falls is
Meteor
very good.
Has a really cool tile set that's not used anywhere else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that kind of like sandstone-ish.
Dude, Meteor
Yeah,
Falls is actually
sediment
pretty
kind of
awesome
feel.
because I mean, it's just I think they made it look that unique. Well, to be fair, or Hoenn in general tried to be very unique in a lot of its locations. And I think it does a very good job of this in general. But this is also like where you go get Bagon, which is
You
also
go up the waterfall and into the back rooms.
You have to like wait until very
There's-
post game.
There's some stuff like I really like a lot of how that cave feels. It's very neat. It's very small, which is kind of to its benefit, frankly.
Yeah.
Big cave systems are not really fun. It just means that you have to have a lot of repels, especially in the old step encounter games.
Yeah. I actually replaying Fire Red and Leaf Green recently. I realized that I thought Victory Road was way bigger than it actually is.
Yeah.
You kept getting lost because you didn't bring Flash.
No. Victory Road didn't need Flash, but it just felt good big because like you had to do this weird maze thing where you push boulders out of the way through holes.
Yeah.
Pokemon, early Pokemon at least, was very good about making you backtrack and make things feel bigger.
I forgot how
Mount
many
Moon's always fun for nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
How many
but-
encounters are in just the average area in Gen 6? And they're all bad.
As a child, I got when I was first playing Pokemon as a kid. I've probably told this story on the show before, and you guys probably heard it because I'm a broken record. But when I was first playing Pokemon, when I was younger, I got stuck in Mount Moon, I think, for like a solid 2 weeks because I didn't know how to get out.
Yeah.
It was very unclear to me. Like I wasn't like, you were also playing in smaller spurts as a kid, right? You were playing in like 15-minute spurts. So there wasn't enough time for me to like draw the map in my head of like, oh, I went down this stairwell already. I already went down this stairwell. Because there's 3 stairwells on the first floor that can lead you to the right direction. And it was very annoying. I was so frustrated.
I need you to know, Thatch, that having played that game when I was like your age or younger as well, because it came out before when I was younger, I never had that problem.
That's fine. I never said I was a smart
I don't
man.
recall it, but
So
he just had to hold it over your head. Just to, hey, I'm smarter than you, Thatch.
that's fine.
No,
you
I'm
can
not
be.
smarter than Thatch. 5-year-old me was smarter than 5-year-old Thatch.
I was
There you
10.
go.
I was probably 9 or 10. Yeah. No, maybe 8.
Oh yeah, then you're host, buddy.
Yeah, I was done. I was like, yeah, it was probably 8. That sounds right. It was the end of 2nd grade, beginning of 3rd grade, so that sounds right. Yeah. I remember because it came out around then. Everybody was really hyped about it. I remember getting people being tired of Pokemon stuff all the time. When I was growing up as a kid. But yeah, no, I do remember that. I got stuck. No, that like, if you watch Gen 1 Thatch's or like Gen 1 Thatch's playthrough of a Pokemon game, I was horrendously bad at it. Horrendously. Like I was the kid with the level 90 Blastoise and the level 16 Rattata in his party facing down the Elite Four. I was that kid.
Absolutely. Yeah,
that's who I
we've all
was.
been that kid at one point, probably.
I did choose.
The level 75 Swampert was absolutely the best way to fight the
I did choose my moves based on the animations, as well. Like,
Heck yeah.
because my Blastoise was so far ahead of everybody else, before I got Surf, Blastoise knew Hydro Pump. And I remember looking at the animations for Hydro Pump, and there's also the animation, I think, it wasn't Bubble Beam, but it was another move. Because why would you have non-damaging moves on your Pokemon? And
Why would you do that? That's stupid.
And I remember looking at the animation like Hydro Pump has this animation where it like shoots up jets of water, and that's all it does. And obviously it's the strongest water type move. But when you use Surf, it does the Hydro Pump animation plus more. And I was like,
So
this clearly this is the stronger move.
You couldn't see base power at the time though anywhere
I know.
on it, so like I don't even blame you that much.
I know I'm not. I don't think I did anything wrong. I'm just saying that's how I chose it. I didn't come into like my fruition as like a real Pokemon player until this very specific issue of Nintendo Power. Because in Nintendo Power,
that dates it all on its own, doesn't it?
I know, dude. I love Nintendo Power. I miss it so much. There's this group of people that do a Nintendo Power like revive thing on Patreon, and I keep meaning to sign up for it to get physical copies of a magazine about video games again.
Yeah.
But there's this copy of Nintendo Power because they would have the Pokemon Center section of Nintendo Power, and they would rate people's teams. People would send in their teams, and they would pick a team and rate it. And I think at one point, somebody was just like, we got to make an example of somebody. Because they weren't mean. They weren't mean, but they like chose a bad team intentionally so that they could, it was very soft.
Talk about
why it was bad, right? They didn't tear the kid apart and go, wow, this is bad. This is terrible. Cause like they would bring in like the people who won like whatever the equivalent of the world championships was, their teams and stuff like that. But I do remember they bring in this kid's team. He has like a Blastoise and it's got like Surf and Hydro Pump on it. And I remember the person who was typing up the review goes, Surf and Hydro Pump is an interesting choice. He goes, you might be better served dropping Hydro Pump for another move instead, since Hydro Pump and Surf kind of do the same thing. Like at that moment I was like, oh wow, he's right. This clicks. And it's just like a base thing that was in my brain ever since then of like, type coverage makes sense. Yeah. And then ZA threw all of that out the window.
The guy who wrote that would either be flattered or horrified that he had made an impact on an actual child's life.
I know. Yeah. No, he should.
And he's a listener. Right into the show.
Dude, I should find out who it is. I could probably dig out my old Nintendo Power and find it. Like I have them all downstairs. I'll go dig them out. And the problem is like I have all these Nintendo Powers, but I read them so much as a kid that they're so beat up. So people will sell Nintendo Powers for so much money now. And I can't even do that.
Can't even approach it.
But yeah, that has been our Poké opinion about caves, I guess. So we're going to go ahead and end the show here because this has been a very long show. And we might be switching to a 5-segment format where we switch between Poké Opinion and Mailbag. Look for that in the future. But here we go. I want to end the show. So if you want to keep up with us throughout the week, the best way to do so is to check out our Discord at puclpodcast.com. You can follow us at social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Blue Sky. Check out our Twitch and YouTube at twitch.tv/thepuclpodcast and youtube.com/puclpodcast, where you can catch streams on Wednesdays where I'm going to just play whatever I feel like playing. And then probably champions again this week. We're gonna climb that ladder. They're gonna unlock the rankings.
Be honest.
Let's be honest. I should bring back viewer battles. But we're gonna play some Pokemon, have a good time. I do want to do a Nuzlocke though at some point again, so we're gonna figure that out somehow in my schedule. But yeah, very exciting, very happy about that. So definitely check that out. And then if you want to support the show or catch something like that full episode of Game Corner on Patreon, you can go check out the show over at patreon.com/puclpodcast. You also get access to ad-free episodes as well as our exclusive patron Discord channel. With that, I guess that's everything. I have been Trainer Thatch.
I have been Seth Vilo.
And I've been Lynian.
And here in the Lavender Town Radio Tower, it's closing time.